Boys Club.
Is it called Boys Club because my apartment looks like a boy lives in it?
I wouldn't say a boy lives in it. I would say a boy is kidnapped somewhere in here.
Boys Club.
We're everything. We're true crime. We're World Star Hip Hop.
We're World Star Hip Hop. We're Netflix reviews.
Stories of the day.
Boys Club.
Listen.
Yeah, do it. We're on iTunes. We're on Spotify. I think. No, we're not. And on Google Play. Nobody gives a shit.
Boys Club.
Boys Club Podcast. Now with 90% more sound clips of black people.
Boys Club.
Touch me, and I'll sue.
Here at Intoxicated Reviews, we intellectually dissect the art of cinema, scene by scene. Here's some clips.
All he is. It's just a fucking big wooden doll full of cum, chasing kids around.
You look up guys who poop in a bag. Because I think that's where you'll find him. Because he is hurt.
It's probably just in your search history anyway, isn't it?
This movie fucking blows.
So don't forget to subscribe to Intoxicated Reviews on all places you find podcasts. Except Spotify. We're working on it.
Hi there, this is T. Johnny with Quirky and or Queer, a podcast about otherness. Join me as I interview people in the community. I talk to musicians, community workers, artists, comedians, and even my mother about otherness. How does it shape their careers, their romantic pursuits, creative projects, and shape their overall worldview? There are lots of laughs, plenty of tender moments, and some deep conversations. Find Quirky and or Queer on your favorite podcast app.
Do not take product if you are hypersensitive.
And we're gonna hope and pray that nothing fucks up, because if it does, I'm gonna have two comedians very mad at me.
No. Some other comedians?
Yeah. Where's my episode? Sure. With Sam and Jim. So, hello everybody. Welcome to the Intoxicated Podcast. I'm here with Mr. Sam Bartol?
Yeah.
I got it!
Yeah.
Bartol and Jim Temple. Ooh. Welcome to my life, my shit show of a life.
I love it.
Yeah. Here I live in a fun house.
Yeah, you have the most contact lens cases I've ever seen. There is like no less than 5 in the bathroom.
Oh my God, I know. It's
outrageous.
I'll tell you why. I'm not one who sleeps a lot. And the eye doctor gave me this contact solution that requires you to soak your lenses in it for 6 hours for it to even work. So if you try to put them in your eyes, like earlier than 6 hours, they will burn your eyes off.
Okay.
Because it's essentially hydrogen peroxide.
Yes. So you just need them on deck everywhere.
So I have 2 different types of contact lens solution in there. I have the normal stuff.
Yeah.
Which I have all the cases for. And then I have the fancy case, which is like it really cleans the lenses. Like it's the better solution. But because I don't sleep a lot of times I'm like, don't have enough hours for it to soak.
Yeah. True. Like every other item in there is contact lens. Like Sephora and then contact lens cases.
There's a lot of skincare. There's a lot of goop.
A lot of goop. There's a lot of goop.
One of those goopy bathrooms. They call it goop hoarding. So like when a woman has a lot of products like me, like that bathroom, it's goop hoarding. Because there's shampoo, there's serums, there's face wash, there's...
It sounds like that's something else, but you know,
goop hoarding.
Like there's
like you're collecting bottles of stuff, and it's like,
that's pretty much what it is. When you're in your 30s, and like the media is like, you're getting wrinkles, you need to do a 12-step program every night.
Isn't that just what like a fertility clinic is? Just a goop hoarding station.
That's a good.
Gotta get your goop.
Yeah.
Gotta get your goop.
Sometimes they'll pay you.
And then Goop is also Gwyneth Paltrow's company.
Oh, is it?
What does she do?
She's like a hippie doo-doo like person. Like she sells like crystal dildos to people.
Nice.
and like convinces them that it like aligns their chakras and
Yeah.
you know, she really targets women who need things in their life, you know, some meaning.
Some goop.
Some goop.
Demographic, I guess.
You need some goop in your life.
Yeah. Get some Gwyneth Paltrow goop.
Goop. And guys, we are drinking. Actually, we're drinking 3 different things right now.
Yeah.
Variety.
We have a variety on this episode. So, Jim, what did you choose?
Drinking a Bulwark cider original.
Yeah.
Sam?
I got something called Ransack the Universe IPA.
Wow.
I don't know.
It's a pretty impressive beer name.
I don't know.
That's
Big plans with that.
Yeah, it's like there's a spaceship and there's planets.
It's meteors and shit.
Yeah, it's hops, galaxy, and mosaic. I don't know if it's like an art description. Or is that the type of hops?
I like
I
beers
guess that's
that are
what it
also
means.
like art pieces, you know?
yeah. You got to pick one with a good can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I picked it. I was
Does
like,
help.
I'm just like, ooh, pretty. And then I took it. It's made by Steve Mack. He's the artist.
Oh, Steve
Steve
Mack.
Mackey.
Steve Mackey.
Steve Mackey.
Steve
made this.
Mackey.
Made this beer.
Holy shit.
Steve Mackey drew this, actually.
That actually reminds me of something I want. Actually, Sam, can you squeeze in a slight, like get a little bit closer to
Yeah.
your pal, Jim?
Yeah, sure.
Like you guys like each other, like it's Christmas morning and we're posing for an awkward family photo. Oh, I love that Jim's hat is transparent on top.
Yeah, it keeps kind of going in and out.
He blends right in.
Just take it off altogether.
We should explain. We are in front of a convenience store.
That's in Halifax. It's not even like that far from where we are right now.
Yeah.
It looks like we're just chilling on the corner of Jubilee and
Yeah.
wherever we are.
Like we set up a table to drink.
It's a really fucked up lemonade stand.
Yeah.
That's what it is. How much would we charge for our lemonade?
I mean, I'm not. Are
Is
we
it a
even
mix of,
selling
like,
it?
this stuff?
Yeah, that's true. We're not. Well, I mean, I could use the money, but I could also use the booze. So I don't know.
Sure. Which one is more important?
I think the booze.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'd be selling that.
Yeah.
But if you make your own booze, then it's like it feeds into each other, you know?
That's true.
True. So we could just be selling
Moonshine.
alcohol in the actual middle of the street.
Yeah. Just have a bucket of moonshine, some mics, and people will be like, what's going on over there?
And
Let
a
me get some of
bell.
that.
It is funny though, because I was at the tattoo fest last night, and they invited me for some reason. I was like, okay,
That's
I'll
pretty
go.
cool.
But it was just really funny that like people like look and they're like, what the fuck is this? Like it's just like I had a webcam and my mics and I was just like streaming and I had a bell.
Yeah.
But it actually like made people go like,
Whoa.
like what's going on over there?
Yeah.
And so it was kind of good in a way.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do more festivals. Like maybe I'll go to HalCon and
Yeah.
and just talk to whoever.
Yeah. You're
But
already-
it's also nerve-wracking because I had no idea who I'd be talking to.
yeah. True.
People just stop by a bunch, and so like it really tested my skills as like an interviewer. Also,
Yeah.
the music was so fucking loud; it was as if I was in a rave.
Yeah.
Like I was screaming over. I was actually nervous because I was like, I hope I have a voice to record because, I was like, I'm pretty loud as it is, but last night I was like, and what's your name? like I felt like I had to yell.
Yeah. And that was like in the Kennard Center.
Kennard Center, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's for tattoos. Like
Tattoo artists,
body
yeah.
art. Yeah.
There was other vendors there too, but like mostly tattoos. I really want to get a bell tattoo.
Yeah.
So like I just want to get the outline of a bell.
Yeah.
Like tiny.
Yeah. And just make sure it doesn't look like a breast.
Yeah, well that's the key, right? And also it's like I don't know if someone saw the like a little cute outline like that, if people would
Yeah,
know
and
it's a
they-
service bell.
Yeah. And they think it's like a service bell, you know,
Service bell.
like a different kind of
Service
service.
bell. Ding ding.
What do you call this?
Why are there so many people lining up? I don't understand.
I'm also drinking a vodka soda watermelon sparkling vodka beverage from Cottage Springs Beverage Co. I don't know if they are local, but I do know that it's delicious.
Do you usually drink local on the podcast?
I try to. Let's see. Does it say on here where it is? Oh, Toronto.
Yeah.
Local-ish.
Fucking bullshit. city.
Who's even from there? I
Who's
don't
even
know.
From there?
I can't
Well,
think of anybody.
Let's
from
get
Toronto.
into it. Jim, is that where you're from?
Yeah, I'm from Toronto.
You are from Toronto. Here we go.
Yeah.
Your whole life?
Well, up until I went to university.
Right. Right.
much.
And Sam, where do you hail from?
I'm from Halifax.
You're a local boy.
Yeah, I was born in Ottawa, and then we moved back here when I was like 2.5. So no memory of Ottawa.
No, you don't have like a emotional connection to it.
No.
That you made as 2-year-old.
No, like we went back a little, like just after we moved here, we went back like about a year later.
Mm-hmm.
My first memory is us driving in Ottawa and me being like 3 and seeing 2 people walking on the sidewalk, and I asked my parents, "Are those Ottawa people?" And they were like, "Yes, sure." You know what? So that was my first. That became like aware of, like, oh, there's people from these are Ottawa. They're a different species from me. So like I gotta check.
I can't associate with them anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. And then that's all I remember from that Ottawa trip was being on the outskirts of the city and seeing a couple, like a woman had really curly orange hair, and that's it. That's the whole memory.
Vivid memory. Like,
and then
Wow.
it just
Physical
drops
descriptions
off
of them.
until I was like 7 years old.
That's crazy.
like your entire memory. Just
Yeah,
like
I don't
you
have
can't
many.
remember
I don't have any
between 8
memories.
and 7 years old.
Yeah, it's like I tried to think. Like people ask you your earliest memory. That's the answer I've settled on, and then it's like the rest is just fleeting. It just like
I have no idea.
yeah, someone will say something, it'll remind me of something, but I can't actively go back.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also feel like I'm losing memories at a rapid pace.
Yeah.
And I am a hypochondriac, and I do think I will get Alzheimer's. Like I'm fairly certain I could put money on it, because it's like these things that happen in, like, I don't know, junior high, elementary, like that my friends remember. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I have no sweet clue. I don't even really remember what school was like the idea of like you had classes and then you had recess and then you had lunch. I don't remember
Yeah.
that shit.
And also
at
your memory
all.
changes when you think of it. Like it's a memory of the memory at that point. So you're like, you
every
can just
time you're doing a different version.
you can
of it.
just add things. And
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's what happened. And then like, no, it isn't. Like you just, all your memories are stories that you tell into yourself.
And you
pretty
can
much.
make them up easily.
Yeah. You can just tell someone the same story enough time, like, especially if that's like when people lie, you know, they immediately give too much details.
Yeah.
That's like how you can make a new memory too. You can just make up details, and it's like so specific that you're like, yeah, that has to be true, because why else would there be all these like specific details?
Or someone like implants it, like they
Yeah.
tell you something and then you're like, yeah, that happened.
Like
for
you
sure.
just agree. You're like, okay,
like,
this guy,
yeah,
it has to
okay.
be true, because
Why
why
not?
else would he be saying like the color of the car that drove by? Like
Yeah,
everything's so specific.
Oh man, it's crazy. It scares me.
Yeah.
But the mind is fucked up.
Yeah.
Like you can actually, like, women can convince themselves that they're pregnant and start getting pregnancy symptoms.
Really?
Yeah.
Even with, well, they have to be like,
They need goop, right?
They need the goop. They need the ultra goop, right?
They do.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think they're called hysterical pregnancies. I think that's a real thing.
Jesus.
Or as real as it can be.
Yeah.
A hysterical pregnancy can be.
As real as it gets.
This pregnancy is hysterical.
This is so funny. Ugh. One thing that I like starting off the show with, because it is a drinking podcast, is talking about 2 things. It's kind of like inside the actor studio. I have like some questions that I ask on every episode. Do you guys remember the first time you ever got drunk?
Yeah.
You wanna go first?
Yeah, sure. It's like I didn't really. It was like the party after prom, which is so.
Sam went to prom.
Oh, hell yeah, Sam. Killing it.
And it was, I didn't even really drink that. I drank 3 beers, but it was enough to be like, yeah, I'm feeling something. I remember saying like, I feel it behind my eyes, and everyone just wouldn't let it go. Wouldn't let it go.
Behind your eyes.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know. I just feel it behind my eyes. My eyes feel like they're being.
Do you ever feel it behind your eyes?
No, but I have had headaches that I felt behind my eyes.
Yeah, it felt like just
But not
something
drunkenness.
was like lightly pushing against my eyes.
Yeah.
And that was it though.
Are you sure you weren't high?
No, I definitely wasn't. I was drinking like really warm Budweiser, and
Blah.
yeah, it was out of a cooler, but the cooler was just like a bag with nothing in it to make it cool. So it was
Gross.
yeah, and then I remember the person whose house it was, like their dad was walking around, and he was just like partying with everybody, and like we're graduating high school, we're kind of young, and he's just like hanging around, and he walked up to my friend with like a lit joint in his mouth, and then he put the lit end in his mouth and passed it to her like with his mouth. and then he kept coming around with just a hot pan of like chicken fingers and was trying to give them to people, and it was like, you're
What the fuck?
Go-
That is so bizarre.
go
I'm with
somewhere
the
else.
chicken fingers thing, but everything
Yeah.
else is kind of...
Oh, chicken fingers would be delightful.
But it was like, why are you
Best drunk
partying
food.
the hardest here out
the-
of all
yeah.
everybody
The
here?
weird make-out joint thing.
People
that's
were
like-
drinking in the gardens. Like you take pictures in the gardens. People had like hip flasks that they were, and it's like people have been drinking all day, and
Yeah.
you're here just
Yeah.
showing everybody up. Like it
Wows.
looked tame.
Wows.
Yeah,
True.
Prom after party. Did you have a date to your prom?
yeah,
Yeah. Was it like a girlfriend or like?
yeah. She was my girlfriend at the time, so
Oh,
it was
that's
like,
fun.
Yeah, it was good. It was. I didn't mind. Like the prom was okay. Like the pictures got to be a bit much because they'd be like there'd just be some mom who you don't even know, be like, no, stay there, and you're like, okay, like I don't know who you are.
Yeah, this is
Like just because I'm near your son, like I don't want to be near in this picture. I just want to leave now. And then they were getting us to do poses. They were like, do the Charlie's Angels pose. And I was like,
of course.
Did you do the Charlie's Angels?
no,
pose?
I just stood behind it as people did it. So,
Okay.
like,
Awkwardly.
yeah, every picture, I'm just kind of like, there's 3 where I'm into it, and then the rest I'm like turned, or like my shoulders are up, or I'm like looking somewhere. Yeah.
See, I loved my prom photos because there was this one photo, and this is so cheesy, but they captured the moment that I saw my date, kind of like a wedding picture, like, and I also went with a boyfriend,
Yeah.
and like
You
it was
just-
like us kind of embracing, and it's like this black and white like photograph, and I'm like, oh, back then I thought love was real, oh, so cute. So I like looking back, going, oh, that was before I was really depressed,
Before the fall.
before the fall.
Yeah.
Calm before the storm.
Calm before the storm. What about you, Jem? Do you remember your first time getting drunk?
Yeah, I was just in my buddy's basement, and I just like smoked a lot of weed before I started drinking.
Oh,
I didn't
So
really,
you got
like, do
drunk
that.
mixing the two.
Well, like we just like I smoked weed when I was 15. I only really like started drinking when I was like 16.
Yeah.
So I like had a year of that, and then we just didn't have any weed one night, and we were like, I guess we can do like normal teenagers do and just drink.
Yeah.
I'm drunk.
And then we did that, and I wore the silly hat. It was a good time. And,
Did you say you wore a silly hat?
yeah, people were like, "Yo, Jim's got this silly hat at the party. He's killing it." I was like, "I'm the king of the world."
I feel like you're a hat guy. Do you appreciate hats of all styles and?
Yeah, I was at the Loot earlier today, like that new like thrift store. Have you heard of it?
Ooh, there's a new thrift store. Ooh.
Yeah, well, I think it's just like select like thrift objects from Halifax. Like they go around and get like the best stuff.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they had a bunch of cool hats there, but they were way out of my price range.
Yeah. We were talking earlier about being broke. Are you guys good with money, or are you?
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not too great. I'm like kind of becoming conscious now, like waking up. So it's like, okay, yeah, I should be smart now. Be a
Yeah.
bit smarter.
What's your vices that you spend money on that you shouldn't?
Probably just coffee mostly. You know?
Yeah, way too much coffee.
Oh, that is like such a thing that like I really want to be that person who has their shit together that like makes my own coffee and brings it out in a travel mug.
Yeah.
But travel mugs are just sucky to travel around with.
Yeah, I have one of those cups like that. It's not like a thermos, but it'll replace.
It's like a permanent cup.
Yeah, it'll replace plastic or paper cups. But then it's like now I have to deal with this cup.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to have to carry it around.
Now
Well,
I gotta put it. It sounds so dumb. It
does sound dumb.
It's like that Kanye tweet from like years and years and years ago, and he's like, he hates when he falls asleep on a plane and wakes up with a bottle of water on his tray because he's like, now I have to be responsible for this bottle of water. I was like, he's actually right.
Yeah.
Like he's being stupid, but he's actually right. To be
That's
honest. It's
exactly
like,
it.
I have to deal. I have a connecting flight. I can't take this. Like they're gonna. Like,
that, and I just don't enjoy. Like I have a Keurig, and I just don't enjoy coffee from home as much as I enjoy it from a coffee shop.
yeah.
And I don't always have the wherewithal to bring a mug.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So I just try to like limit it and just go to like make it not like a habit. Like it's like a habit, more of just like a go, and it's like a thing. I go and sit there for a bit, so you don't just like, because if you start doing it,
You
you get
soak
like
it up. You enjoy it.
you'll get like 3 in a day sometimes, and it's like, what am I doing?
man.
Like I didn't even need.
I can
that.
easily do 3 in a day because I drink 1 here.
Yeah.
I have like 1 at like lunch, and then I always have my mid-afternoon caffeine.
Yeah.
So I can easily drink 3 caffeinated. Sometimes it's 4 or 5.
Yeah, and then it just starts to feel bad. It just makes you feel weird.
Yeah. Do you ever get
Rocking the Red Bull right
Yeah,
now.
I listen. booze sponsorships would be the thing that would make sense on the show, but also this. Red Bull, if you see me.
Yeah.
Please. I am a big Red Bull fan, and it's weird because I'm very brand loyal. I don't like Monster. I don't like I am. There's something about the Red Bull, just the taste, like where it's a little more simple and it's not like too sugary.
Can is like, you know,
Perfect.
sleek. It's got like Monster's just like, whoa.
Yeah, the tall.
It's too much.
Like this size can for an energy drink is like that's a lot.
Kill you.
Yeah.
It makes my teeth hurt. Like it's just like I feel like, and it's like green. It's like yellow color, and you're just like that's all in me like coursing around. It just hits me too
Makes
hard.
Me feel like a meth head, man.
Yeah, there's like almost 200 milligrams of caffeine in a taller can. That's probably like 80.
How much caffeine is in
like
this?
that.
Does it say? I don't know.
Like,
probably not. Like,
it's like it's like a good shot. Like it's gonna get you going.
I like my ideal Red Bull size is the one up from this.
Oh yeah.
There's like 3 sizes, I think.
Yeah.
So the one up from this, because this I can just drink so quickly.
There's like
and
the
it's-
Colt 45 size, which is just like.
Yeah. I realized I had a problem with caffeine when the effects of it, I just stopped getting.
Yeah, it makes you like
other people get jittery and like their heart, and I'm just like, no, I feel like I just need this to live. Like I feel like when I have this, it's just people think my energy is natural. It is not. It is not a natural energy. I'm hyped up on caffeine every day. I would be very scared to quit. It would be like a meth addict.
I
quitting.
realized I had like I was dependent on it when I'd get sick because I'd be homesick and I wouldn't drink because I wouldn't be in my routine, so I wouldn't drink it, and then I'd be like, I'd have a headache.
Yes, you get withdrawal,
and then I'd have tea, and it would go away. It was like, oh, that wasn't the sickness. That was just like I'm addicted to a drug.
Yes, yes.
I'm addicted to a psychoactive drug. Right
It truly is addiction.
Yeah, it's like it's a drug. It's like it's a pretty mild drug.
Yeah.
It's really easy to get on and off it. Like you go a week without coffee, you're reset basically.
Yeah.
It's one of the most socially acceptable drugs. Like people will just do it like
people have
the course of the day.
People have been using it since like we existed. Like
it's true.
Started in like Yemen probably like the earliest like they just like let's. I don't know how they figured out to roast it and brew like grind it and brew it.
Make
though.
juice out of it.
Like I was looking at like an espresso machine, which is like. It's like a car, complicated. Like if you've seen one open up, it just looks like a spaceship.
Holy shit! I really want one.
And it's like all these moving parts. It's like, how did we figure that out? Like,
yeah.
We went from like it grows inside of a berry on a tree to like we build this like race car.
Yeah.
That makes
and there's all these different ways to drink coffee.
Yeah.
What's your favorite way to drink it? Just straight up, or?
Yeah, I like black coffee, and I like I like espresso drinks and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mostly drink black coffee. I don't go for any like.
But that's like that means that you are the most. You could be thrown in anywhere and you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you drink black coffee, like you're good.
Yeah,
you'll never have to.
Stuff.
Yeah, you don't need the bells and whistles.
Yeah, and I like even like bad coffee like from a diner. I even like that because it's kind of just like it's bottomless. They keep you take a sip.
Love it.
I
love it.
They just keep filling it up and you just keep going.
And they have those mugs that are thick mugs.
Yeah, it's the whole.
And they're always white and they're not that big, but then they keep giving you more coffee.
Exactly, and you drink like 5 of them, and then you're sweating, and then you're good to go. Like
I love it so much.
Yeah, and they just ate like waffles and like breakfast food. So yeah,
ready for my day.
It's like probably the worst way to start a day. Like,
going to a diner, you're not like.
I love a diner. In fact, it's my favorite place to eat brunch. Is like a greasy, cheap.
Yeah,
diner.
I love diners too. They're just like if you're going there to kickstart your day, it's like you might as well just go back to bed. Like,
oh yeah, that's true.
You're gonna leave there feeling worse.
Yeah, the breakfast routine at the Ardmore
tea room
is my jam. But it's my jam in the sense that I will wake up hungover, go there, feel great for a bit, and then go back to bed.
Yeah, Ardmore is a good spot.
It's my favorite.
It's a great place if
favorite.
You're taking a nap in the afternoon.
Oh, 100%. They have side waffles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Best thing you could do for your life is get your breakfast. Like, I'm just a very classic bacon and eggs, hash browns gal.
Yeah.
But get you a side waffle and you get that little sweetness.
Yeah.
You get your waffle, like, cause like I don't like how a lot of places have waffles, but it's just waffles and whipped cream and fruit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want a hearty breakfast, but I want like a waffle on the side, like just a little bit.
Just a little hit.
So that's why I love Ardmore. They have a side waffle.
Yeah, and it's like they bring it over. There's like 8 plates on the table.
I love it.
You're just like, okay, let's throw down.
Let's throw down.
Oh, I get so excited.
Yeah.
When the food arrives, it's the best feeling.
My buddy had meatloaf for breakfast from Ardmore. Like,
oh, interesting.
yeah, it was weird.
See, I've never had anything other than their breakfast, so I cannot speak to like their lunch.
Like of all the things you could go for, the meatloaf is not.
Meatloaf.
They also have like their old menus up, and one of their like old deals is called the Little Boy Lunch. And,
that's a bit.
See why it's on the old menu.
And you could like you had like choice of like milk or soda, and then orange juice or soup, but not like. Like you couldn't. Have,
I just
like,
pictured a
milk
bowl
and
of orange
sodas.
juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so soup's a drink there.
Yeah. It's a liquid, so they're gonna put it in a mug.
I gotta say, the soup of the I love soup. Big soup fan. I want to make a point to ask about the soups at restaurants more, because like when you don't want to eat a huge meal and you just want a little something.
Yeah.
A good hearty soup.
Yeah, and I feel like most
So
people
good.
ask what the soup is, they never get the soup. They're always just curious.
Yeah.
And then they'll talk about it for a bit. They'll discuss it, but they
Like, I don't know if I like tomato basil as much to get it at a restaurant.
Yeah. And it's like, I like a good bisque, and then they just order something else. Like,
I'll just never forget, like, I was down south in Mexico, and we went to this Brazilian restaurant, and I was on the verge of getting sick, as you do in Mexico. You always get sick. And they had, like... It was just like they would come at you with like meat on sticks and be like, here you go. Like, and it was just various meats on sticks. But they had like a salad and soup station with like chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
And when you're sick or about to get sick, there is nothing better in the world. Literally nothing will make you feel better
of course.
than chicken soup. And I ate that soup and I was like, this is the best soup. Because I was like out of my element, like eating foods that I wouldn't normally eat here.
Yeah.
All week, and then I had this like hearty bowl of soup, and it was like I had new life.
Brought you back.
It brought me right back to life. I love soup.
Yeah, it's great.
I love me some soup. Do you guys cook? You cooks?
Yeah, I like cooking.
Yeah. Make like ramen.
Yeah.
It's
definitely an advantage. I'm living at home right now, like, so that
helps.
That's the big advantage. I have like a fully like equipped kitchen. Like, parents got me like a cast iron pan this Christmas.
Oh,
so they're just
bitch.
Like, yeah, they're just like, this benefits us too if we just give him the tools.
Oh my god, that's so true. So what will happen when you move out? They'll be like, well, we got it for you, so it needs to stay with us.
Like, I gotta transport the pan, and it's like, it's huge. It's 12-inch and it's iron, so it's just like,
oh fuck.
It's like, you know, in like Lord of the Rings, Sam carries all like the pots and pans.
Yes.
It's gonna be like, I'm gonna have to like tie it to my bag when I move out.
You need a bigger bag too.
Yeah, it's like I can't go anywhere that far. I'm gonna need like a carry-on just for. It's gonna be my carry-on, just a pan, like
big time,
with a crepe in it still. Like, you want some? Like,
Keep your leftovers with you when you
just
travel.
let me take this on the plane. So, but yeah, I enjoy cooking.
Yeah,
Would
I just
they
don't have
not
time.
let you take a crepe on the plane? What's their rules on that?
Ooh, a crepe.
Like, to get through, you'd have to get through security with it. And I think you could, maybe.
I know liquids, like they don't like that.
Yeah,
No.
Just
like it's like
cooked food
it's
that
cooked.
you brought in
Like,
Tupperware.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single time I travel, it's as if I'd never traveled before. I always have to like Google like what I can and cannot take, and like I get really paranoid.
Yeah, I always get going through security. I'm taking too many things off. Like,
yeah.
I think I've heard like a joke about that before. Someone just like how they're just like taking everything just to be safe. Like, it's just like I'm taking the belt and like my shoes and socks, and it's just like,
and like as fast as you can.
Yeah. You're like,
just get it in the
yeah, something that you know isn't even metal, and you're just like, it's
like,
probably metal.
I don't want to waste time, so I'll just throw it.
I'm always paranoid that, well, I used to be, maybe not so much anymore now that's legal, but I used to be paranoid that like, because I would be one to take joints in my purse.
Yeah.
Or like I'd have purse joints.
Yeah.
And I'd forget about them. I'm like, oh fuck. like, what if there's like a little nugget of weed or something like in my purse? And it's just like unnecessary fears like that.
I've like done that. Like I brought like little like amounts without even really knowing.
Yeah.
Nothing's happened.
Yeah, you get
like,
through because and it just shows how like if you just act like nothing's wrong, because in that case you didn't think anything was wrong.
Yeah,
it just works.
It's true. Yeah,
because it is hard to notice a small amount, like a backpack. It's like
well, how do they pick up weed under those cameras? I wonder.
They also do like the palm thing and shit.
What's that?
Well, they like they have like a little stick where they take your palm and they test it for any drugs that might but you just gotta wash your hands.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, it's like I know someone too. He brought like a vaporizer through like the thing, and it still had like residue and everything. And he had a grinder that had residue, and like the guy pulled it out of his bag, and he was like, "What's this?" And he's like, "It's a vaporizer and some grinders." He was like, "Yeah, you're right." Like, just, okay, that's awesome. Cool. Like they're great. Yeah, they're good for your lungs.
Like people used to like put it in baggies and then inside of like shampoo to bring it in, like in the 90s. That was a thing, I think,
shit.
to bring it on board.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've seen that like on those like those cop shows where they like it's like with cocaine, like really illegal drugs, and it's just in everything, like the lining of his suitcase.
Because powder. We get everywhere.
Yeah, and he just fits it. They're like, "Oh, you have 5 kilograms in your suitcase," and he's like, "I don't know how it got there." It's like it's sewn in, like it's.
Jesus.
I bought it like that.
It's like just Bentley, man. They're crazy over there.
Do you guys like flying, or?
Yeah, I like flying.
Yeah, not scared of it.
I'm impartial. Like it's just a part of the process.
Yeah, but you're not like okay. I'm just terrified of it. Really? I'm terrified of it. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like being suspended in the air. Something about it freaks. I just like, how do planes not run into each other more?
Yeah.
That's something I think about all the time. I'm just like, I know that they have radar and like, I know that they have systems in place.
Yeah.
But like, how is it that more planes haven't just gone rogue and just been like, fuck this? Like,
yeah, I mean, like, and there's so many, like, air traffic control is crazy where it's like, if there's any doubt, it's like, okay, just go up 5,000 feet just to be sure.
Yeah.
Like, you guys might collide, so just go just a little bit, just a couple thousand feet.
Well, because I always think about that, because when you're looking out the window, when you're like above the clouds and stuff, I always am like, there's so many planes. Like, how do you not see more planes when you're in one?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, I guess it's because they're all on different
it's
levels.
a very,
you have to stay as far away.
That's definitely the whole point of air traffic control. Is like, you don't want these anywhere near each other.
Like, not even close.
You should be like, oh, can we get away, please? Can we?
Yeah, because it's not like a car where you can just kind of like do that and like not hit somebody.
Yeah, that's true.
Lane,
but then you could also do that and hit someone.
It was like that thing that was on like Halifax Noise, that cab guy.
Okay, I don't know the story behind this.
I think it was just two guys. It was on Duke Street, so you know the big hill by like Scotia Square, and these two guys were arguing about if someone rear-ended the guy or if the guy rolled back, and then the guy who got, like, he had a dashboard cam, so it was shown that the cab rolled back into him.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, that's a very easy, you know, like with cars, that's how easy it is to happen. Like, it's
like
you let off the brake for like a second,
and then bam.
But I don't think anyone was damaged in it. It was more just like...
Did they get into an argument?
Was it like a fight video?
Traffic was stopped because the two guys were going back and forth saying like who hit who, and there's no damage, I guess, but
they just lost it over this like little...
Yeah, and then the guy put the video up to like save his like... like, you know, like, just so you know, like, I was I was right, and that's why I was trying to like...
Right.
But I don't know. It's from the internet, you know? So
yeah.
And then in the comments, people are just arguing about healthcare anyway, so you're just like, okay, like
I can only imagine the Reddit. Do you frequent the Halifax Reddit? Because that's an interesting...
I've been on it a few times.
Place to go.
And it's just about, it's like back in the day on the internet, you could go onto any YouTube video and there was an argument about Israel-Palestine.
Yeah.
And it was like, what this is cats. And then Halifax Noise is like that. We're like, new taco stand. And they're like, what about healthcare?
What about the hospital?
I don't think the guy who opened the stand has anything to do with hiring doctors. I don't know.
People just want to bitch.
Yeah.
People just want to bitch.
And then there's it's just like, it just devolves immediately. Like, there's no, like even start to the discussion. It's just already an argument.
Yeah.
And it's like, this post is about tacos. I don't understand.
Like, why are we making it about something totally different?
Yeah.
Fuck. Jim, what are your thoughts on Halifax living here, coming from Toronto?
It's cool, man. It's like it's a lot easier to get places.
Yeah.
It's not like
It doesn't take an hour to get everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. When someone's like, is it walking distance? It's like, I mean,
Kind of.
People here will walk literally anywhere.
whatever. Like,
Yeah, it's true. Hours.
wherever you want. Yeah, I mean, Toronto's just like weird and smelly and hot in the summer, so it's
Oh,
good to be
yeah.
here.
Fuck, so hot there in the summer.
Yeah, it's like pavement, everything.
Yeah, it's so flat too. Like it just gets super cold and super hot.
Yeah,
all
it's
the time.
nice to have like more of like a small range
Temperate.
of temperatures here.
I find Halifax could be warmer. I find
Yeah.
we're more cold than hot.
I have I have an issue with the wind here.
Oh, the
Yeah.
fucking wind.
I do get upset.
Fuck you, Halifax wind. Go fuck yourself.
I get irrationally mad at the wind.
I do too. It blew off an eyelash of mine once. Like my big eyelash.
Like I get mad at the wind as if it's out to get me, and it's
Yes.
like as if it's not blowing on everybody else. I'm like actually cursing it under my breath. And
You
like,
think it's targeting you?
yeah, there's so many wind tunnels here too. Like,
Oh man,
you
I know.
like the Barrington Spring Garden one, the Maritime Center, because it's angled from the ocean.
So,
it just,
what makes a wind tunnel? Is it just tall buildings?
Yeah, I think it's just
Yeah.
buildings redirecting wind to like, corridors, so the wind gets funneled through a
It's
small
the only
area,
place where it can go. So
and that's
it's like,
at the water. So
Do you know what pisses me off even more? People that still look good in high wind. Go fuck yourselves.
I went to first 2 years of school I did were at Memorial in St. John's,
Yeah.
and that was the windiest. It's so windy there. It's
Yeah.
outrageous. And I saw somebody get like it looked like a ghost like took a lasso and took her like ankles out from underneath her, because the campus, like Munn's campus, is just the university campus. It's not like Dal where it's kind of scattered a little bit. It's just the campus, so there's a lot of student buildings and they're all funneled. And then I just remember seeing a girl like, when the wind kind of stops you in your tracks, and you can't go forward, you actually have to like balance. She did that, and then just her feet went out from underneath her.
It's just insane here. It's so windy. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like you think we're like 70 years old. We're talking about contact lenses, cast iron, wind,
worse.
Travel complaints. Oh.
Alzheimer's. Like,
What young things can we talk about? Do you guys go to bars? Do you bang bitches?
It's been a while since
only
someone
bars
asked me
I
if
go
banged
to is
bitches.
just to do open mics. That's like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's you're not big going out people?
Yeah, I don't like. I would go out a little bit here and there, but now it's just like I go out to do these shows, and that's enough for me. It's like
I spend so much time doing that it's.
Well, you guys brought up an
doing
interesting point before we start recording about like doing open mics and how in bigger cities you do multiple in the night.
Yeah.
And here it's very much so like one a night or maybe
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, you can do two.
On the Yuck Yucks nights you can do two.
Yeah, it's just starting to be a thing with like multiple shows in one night. People
Yeah.
are doing that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good. Like it's not. I've heard like I don't know. I haven't been in a city where you can do 5 in a night or whatever.
Right.
But I have heard people say like it's not guaranteed to be a good thing, because sometimes you're waiting around a lot, or you're
Yeah.
performing for like you're just performing for comics who aren't listening to you, or you're losing your energy and you're not doing your best and you're not really trying to even improve.
Yeah.
It's like
That's true.
it's the quality of your practice too. So
So if you're just doing it because you think you have to do 5.
yeah, you show
That's
it.
probably not the way
Yeah,
to
you're
do
just
it.
kind of showing up
Yeah.
and like kind of just phoning it in. Like
Fun and that's exactly it.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, Halifax, you can get like more people to shows. So it's more of like a scheduled thing, and it's not just show up, go up.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
Yeah, and there's no like lottery spots and like
Yeah.
crazy like you're not in a rat race. You're just you can schedule your time out.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can have like you can schedule a full week of mics or whatever, or like you can schedule a week in advance.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
I know exactly like which ones I'm going to this week because I've like arranged it.
Yeah.
You've prearranged it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I always wonder because like I always see like on Thursday night I saw like Kyle Barnett was at Yucks, and then like he was also headlining High Life, and like I looked at the timings and I was like, how? I was like, I guess that makes sense. I guess you could do both, but like I always just like I get I get secondhand stressed out for y'all because I'm like, are you making are you showing up on time? Like, are you making these?
Well,
like
that.
Life's also, like,
that
people
specific example, yeah.
Kyle, you can kind of do that.
Kyle was like middling at Yucks, so he would have finished that. High Life doesn't really get underway until 9:15, 9:30.
It usually ends like an hour later than like Yucks does. So
yeah. So,
okay, so you can, it's doable. You can do that.
It's very common for all three guys on a Yucks weekend show to show up at High Life.
Just kill like the last bit when I was just fucking shitting.
Yeah.
Man, High Life, dude.
Yeah.
I've never been. I need to go.
Yeah.
That's one I need to check out, and I got to check out the Oasis soon too.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
High Life is actually kind of fun. Like, cause it's like it'll just fill up with people sometimes, and it's like turns into a really good show. Like last week I was there.
Yeah,
it got really good. Like at the end, it just kind of got some steam going, and then like people kind of. It turns into a real show sometimes. Not that it's not a real show, but sometimes it's just people trying stuff out and the crowd's just sort of along for like a relaxed time. But then it starts to pick up energy and it kind of becomes like, oh, there's like a pulse to it. I don't know what to call it. Like,
interesting. No, I can see that.
Yeah, so it's
an
just
energy
in the room.
Yeah, it happens with like shows like that. Sometimes they just out of nowhere will just get some like a real wind, like a group of people will walk in or somebody will have a really good set and then it just kind of builds and
they're just like
and it's so dependent on so many things.
Yeah, there's so many variables.
Moving parts.
You can't predict it any time, and I think that's why that's part of the fun of it for people. Like that's why I like it at least. It's like it literally can go any way.
Yeah.
I've had shows a lot of animals in.
Yeah, it's like I've had shows with like
what's with the cat? Okay, I don't know is there just a bar cat that lives there?
Yeah,
I think it's like one of the employees' cats.
Yeah, is it the tiny cat?
Yeah,
he's like upstairs, like
at the dispensary.
Yeah, and he's just got this cat that's like weeks old, and it's just like it's great. So yeah, that place is funny. It's just like a lot of regulars too.
Yes,
so you see a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
So it kind of
they kind of track your progress and they'll kind of be like, yeah, this was good, this didn't work out.
Yeah, it's true. You have to like write new. You have to do new stuff.
Do you think that that's good to have people in the scene that like have seen you multiple times that can give you good feedback? Like, because it would be one thing to see someone like on a one-off, but like it's interesting to see the progressions of sets.
Yeah,
when you've seen someone.
It is cool when someone is paying attention that you didn't even realize, and they'll come up and say like, I saw you 3 weeks ago and you did this, and it's like, I didn't even remember that, so I'm glad you brought that up. Like,
exactly.
It's cool. Something like that. Like,
especially when you're like just doing the same bit but doing it in a different way every time, and
you're
kind of like just like constantly like editing it, and people will be like, oh, I like how you did this, or like, no, you're going in the fucking wrong direction, bud.
It's almost like these like open mics are like focus groups.
Yeah.
In a way, because like I mean I've never seen it at Stingley's, like people actually making notes, being like, okay, that one did not go, that one did, and like you almost have to like take that and then like sample size it larger and like try it in different rooms and try it multiple times, and then
it's like you can't write anything off instantly. I mean you could, like there's no, it's kind of like there's no rules but there's rules. One of those things. Like they tell you with like writing and things like that. They're like, there are all these rules, but they're there to be broken, but don't go trying to break them immediately kind of thing. So just like, it's more just time, I think. That's from what I can tell is like, you can have all these theories and things like that, but
just the more you do it, the more you'll understand.
Yeah. You can't figure it out until you just keep doing it over and over and over. And then it's like, you start to learn,
feel that energy and like what the crowd wants and what's like appropriate
and that
situation.
And that in and of itself is a talent, like just that ability to be adaptable, to like be on the spot, to be quick. Because like for me personally, like I've thought about doing stand up and I have jokes, but my problem is that I just don't think I have timing. Like I just don't think I could get up there and like do crowd work or like
but if
like
it's,
I just don't know if I could do that.
To, like do crowd work, you can just like get comfortable on stage and then kind of move into like, you know, talking to people in the audience.
That's true. I mean, and you're right. Like I do think it is the more you do it.
Yeah, that's why you see those professionals. They can just like, it's like they're feeling, they're just seeing things that other people can't see.
Yeah.
And it's like any kind of artist that's used to improvising, like a jazz musician, you know, they're operating in a pretty strict, you know, they're in a certain key, so they can't, there's wrong notes, but people like there's wrong notes to make, and you're basically infinite. But the good ones, that's why it's impressive, because they can stretch like the limits
true.
right to the edges and see new patterns and try things out, and then still operate within enough rules to make it
cohesive.
Yeah, because otherwise it's just random nonsense. Like,
right.
So that's why like comedians, like they can pick up on things in the room that you see, and it's like they just have so much experience from dealing with.
That's true. Yeah.
They just know. They just look at, like, you'll see them. They'll come in and they'll just start talking about the city, and they'll pick up on stuff that people find is hilarious because it's stuff everybody notices.
But we don't say it out loud.
You either don't say it out loud, or you're just amazed that someone picked up on it.
That's my favorite kind of comedy, when they read my mind before I had the chance to say it, kind of thing. I love that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I love that so much. Do you guys remember? Well, how did you both get into it? Like, what? Because you're fairly young, 21 and 22.
Yeah, other way.
You're 22. You're 21. Youngins. The youngins are here. So at what time did you? I'm 32, so I'm like, holy shit, I'm way older than you. When did you start thinking that you guys want to do comedy?
I was like in high school.
Yeah.
And then
were you in drama?
No, I never did any of that. Like, I was the quiet. I mean, I still am. I was so quiet, and like I hate it. Attention, like I don't like when people like. I like to talk to people and very like really talkative, but in small settings.
Right.
And otherwise, I'm just so quiet and get super embarrassed really easily, and all that stuff. Like, like when I was a kid, I was like 3, I think, or like 4 or 5, probably older. But anyway, I fell into. My uncle had this cottage with a pool, and I was just kind of wandering and absent-minded, fell in before I could swim, but he saw it and was right there, and he was able to just reach down and like pull me out and just put me back on the ground, like standing up. So it was like I was never in the water, and I was standing there, and some guy who was like doing work on his house, like painting or something, was there, and he looked at me and said, "Are you okay?" Like, as you would. Kid just fell in the water, and the first thing I said, I just screamed at him, "Don't look at me." Like that was my biggest concern. Was I don't want attention. Like I would like fall down the stairs, and all the adults would like come over, and I'd be crying, but not because I was hurt, because they were looking at me.
You're
like,
embarrassed.
and like dealing with it. And it was just like no. So then somehow I got into a thing where I stand in front of a light with a microphone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so fat. That's so interesting.
But yeah, I just started like really enjoying watching stand up. I always liked watching it, like watching Chappelle and like Kevin Hart. Me and my brothers really liked those guys. And then in high school, I saw like Bill Burr, and I was like, "What? There's something really."
Yeah, he's
you just, like,
I saw him on YouTube, and then he announced that he was coming to Halifax, and I was like, immediately bought a ticket. And that,
did you do it at Dow? Was that where?
Yeah, at the Rebecca Cohen
yes,
like theater. So in 2014, and I already like really liked it, and then seeing that was just like, there's something to this that I really want to do.
Right.
And then it took me until last April to try it, so it was still another few years before I ever got up.
So you just passed the year mark, eh?
Yeah, it's like,
holy shit.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
good on you.
It's like like 13 months.
What was your first show? Well, actually, first let's do how you got into comedy, and then we'll talk about first shows.
I did my first set when I was 12 at my elementary school at a talent show, and I just did it was cute. Did a bunch of talent shows and stuff, and then like after high school, it was like, maybe I should stop doing it in front of gymnasiums full of like high school kids.
Were you the one to do like were you the class clown kind of thing?
Not in like the way that I would like release it in class. Like I wouldn't want to just like fuck the shit up for the teacher, but like I would, like, if there were opportunities, I'd do it there, and I'd be like, yeah, this is a great healthier way to get it out.
Yeah, joke sniper kind of.
Yeah
Interesting. And so like you knew really young that you had some sort of performative aspect to you.
Yeah. I just watched like a lot of TV, and I was like, well, if I like it so much, and I want to, like, my mom's telling me to stop watching so much TV, just like make that kind of thing,
Yeah.
Start like.
I want to be on it now.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if I want to actually not be lazy and sitting on my couch,
Yeah.
just really do it.
Yeah, it's pretty much the only way to get into it, from what I know. That's how like every actor and stuff, they always start with that, just being obsessed with like TV and movies and then they're like, oh wait, I can just do it. Like there's no like set like exam
right
or anything. It's just like just go do it, figure it out.
Now I have to like make time to like do that stuff
Yeah.
because I'm like trying to do it as much as possible instead of just like watching it. You know?
Yeah, true.
Were you guys always serious about doing comedy, or did you have backup plans, like quote unquote, like this is what I'm going to do for my career and my day job, but I still want to do comedy? Or has it always been comedy is the goal? And you know, obviously we all have to pay bills, so we have to work jobs. But like, is it the goal? Like, is the end goal to do it full time?
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I mean, like ideally, in an ideal world.
I'm not gonna go like you know, handicapping myself because I see people. You do have to take a leap, but it's like just taking a leap isn't
what's gonna like,
get it. Yeah, you know, like some people
Right.
take a leap when it's like you should not have done that. Like you, like, and they like I'm following a dream, but it's like you didn't plan it very well, and you know you can. People make like safety nets, and you can put too much effort into like the backup plan, and then you lose sight of what you actually want to do. But then there's people who go too far into what they want to do, and it's
there's
just
the
like,
other end too. Like,
it's like you have to be smart about it. Like,
oh yeah,
you're
100%.
It's not just believing in yourself. It's like doing the work and like figuring it like out
and balancing it.
Yeah, it's like you're probably just gonna hold yourself back more if you just like cut your leg off to do it, kind of thing. It's like you should. Like it's that endless balance. You're probably never gonna find the exact perfect one, but
and that's why I'm always so I love asking questions about comedy to comedians, because it is so interesting to me how different people approach it. Some do it full time, because that's the only way that they can. Other people really do it as a side hustle. Other people just do it every now and then. And it's just interesting to me, like, where certain people fall.
And it works for some people. Just go and they're like 17 and they go to move to New York and it works for them. But it's like you hear about the ones that work, and there's 7,000 that they're homeless now.
And like, bigger cities, like your mics are going to be full of other comedians.
Exactly.
It's well, people like, glamorize going, and it's like you're gonna get there, and the city's gonna be rejecting you at every moment.
Oh man, and it will reject you for like years to come until like maybe one day. It's just like I fuck with you.
Like it's gonna be like you're a foreign body and like an immune system basically, and it's just like.
Yeah,
you're gonna be living basically in a box. Like you're gonna be running around all over the place, not making very much money, not sleeping very well. Like it's just gonna be.
It's like you're entering a lottery, and like the payoff can be big in like bigger cities because you're like around everything. But like, it's a bigger pool, so the
more competition.
Yeah, like you really gotta go.
And when I say competition, I guess I just mean like there's a lot of comedians out there. Mm-hmm. Like, do you guys consider it competition? I probably wouldn't.
I try not to go in with that mindset.
You should be competitive, but the healthy kind that's encouraging other people to do their best, I think.
Yes. Because everyone's so different. Everyone has different styles, so it's not really competition.
But you definitely want to bring
have different demographics, though, like your like stuff, you know.
Yeah, you want to bring the best out of each other, and I think it's like the more people. It seems like you see that now. There's comedies like so networked now that it seems like the more people that do well, it's just opening more options to do well. But you still have to figure it out for yourself. But it's like if someone does something successfully, that means other people can.
Very true.
So it's like there's not a limited amount of spots. Anybody can do it.
It's true.
Not anybody. Exactly. You know what I mean? But like it's like anybody who's funny can technically do it. So just
do it.
No one's. It's like, oh, he's funny, so you can't be funny now. It's like, what do you mean?
It's like, no, there's a lot of funny to go around.
And
everyone needs. It's one of the greatest needs in the world is to make people laugh.
Yeah,
people need to laugh.
Yeah. Well, and each new some kid now who wants to think of it as different from when someone who's like in their 40s wanted to do it. They have a different perspective, and they're coming from a different place, so they're gonna like refresh the mindset of comedians. So
a different way of doing it. Like
that's so much. Do you guys have any mentors like when you start comedy, like anyone who like kind of took you under, or like anyone you looked up to that gave you advice? Oh, that's nice. Yeah, you seem to know your shit. Like
I don't know. I just say things.
No, but no, I think a lot of what you're saying makes sense. And I mean, for only doing it a year, it's very insightful.
Yeah, you're getting gigs, man.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I just think about like I haven't been. None of this is like planned out. Like last year, I didn't know I'd be here, like doing this, even like in this room right now.
Wow.
Yeah. Last year, I was just like, I'm gonna start, and I'm just gonna keep doing it, and then whatever happens, and I'm gonna do what happens, basically. Like,
it's a good way to do it.
And for you, did you do shows in Toronto?
Yeah, a little bit, but it was like, I don't know, it was kind of like discouraging, and I think like going to Halifax encouraged me more a little bit just because it was more accessible. But like, when you
it's
go
definitely.
4-hour open mics. And you get
within like
3
2
minutes.
months, you get to meet everybody here.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Nice.
It almost feels like Halifax is a good place to grow legs.
Yeah.
And then once you have those legs, you could be more equipped.
That's what I've heard. Like
And you're
people have
motivated.
said.
Yeah.
I forget who said it. Someone said how like
Brian Thompson was just like, yo, like do it here for a bit, and then
Yeah.
A few people have told me like how a few years ago they're like, it was not like this. It was dead. It was.
Yeah.
Bad.
Oh yeah,
it
it's
was,
like
it was rough. And then
even a year ago, it wasn't like as many like as the crowds as we get at open mics sometimes.
Yeah, I've even noticed since I started, it's like I've noticed a bunch of people start and actually stick around because I've seen a bunch of people's first set and then I never see them again.
Yeah,
but I've also
that.
I've seen a few start. Yeah, people's first sets are funny. Like and
as an audience member, it's so cool to see a first set.
It's really interesting to see
So
the people who stick around and the people who are like trying it because they always wanted to, and the people who try it because people told them they should, and there are people who bring like 7,000 people with them. Like those ones are always.
If I ever did it, I ain't bringing anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, Mindy's coming out. This is an Intoxicated first.
Really?
She normally hides when I have podcast guests over.
Rubbing up all on me.
She is my baby. I birthed her, kind of.
Nice. Oh, what kind of goop did you use for this? Yeah.
Gross. I that was one thing I probably should not have said out loud.
You birthed a different species of animal.
Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said that.
Hey man, Gwyneth Paltrow goop can do anything.
I feel like my cat harnesses my energy, so I do feel like we're cyclically, like if I'm hyper and dancing around, she'll be running around. Yeah. If I nap, she naps. When we eat together too. Like we're connected, her and I.
That's dope.
Yeah. Are you guys animal people? You got pets?
I did, yeah. I had a cat like 2 years ago in my apartment when we probably shouldn't have had a cat.
Was it like a no cat apartment? Were you being bad?
Well, yeah, like we did not have our shit together enough to like have a cat in that apartment. I probably should have like been like, hey, let's not do this to an animal, but yeah. And then there was shit everywhere.
They're fun to have though. They definitely make my life less lonely.
Yeah. I had a dog for 16 years up until this December, so it was like it was like he was like
16 years, that's a good life.
Yeah, he was a little like, Cairn Terriers. They're the same as Westies, but all
cute.
Westies are white. They're the same breed as Cairn Terriers, but they're all white. So Cairn Terriers are like just black, brown, like they're just.
Are they? Okay, I'm trying to picture in my mind what they look like.
Do you know the dog from The Wizard of Oz?
I was literally just thinking that.
That's my example.
I have a thing for terriers. I don't know why. I like dogs that look kind of like nitty gritty and like.
Yeah, a little.
Scruffy. Scruffy is the right word. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're also. Terriers are quite they're independent, so they're like.
Yeah.
They just do what they want.
Right.
Our dog was pretty well trained. He was very well behaved and good with all people, like babies, everything, other dogs.
Aww.
But he'd also just be like, I'm going over here now.
Independent, yeah.
I'm going to go into the woods. And you'd yell at him and he'd wait and look at you. And then as soon as you'd get close, he'd be like, run away. Like, all right, come on. Like, you're coming with me, right?
It's
suffocating.
It's crazy how like the different types of dogs have like there's different like not personalities but tendencies or like behavioral things. Like beagles are wanderers, like they will wander off and they'll just leave you. And
beagles
just go
are like
wander.
I've never had one obviously, but it's like from what I know, beagles will eat your wallet no matter what.
Oh, really?
Wallet eaters, eh?
Yeah.
I learned a sad thing about beagles, that they're like, when cosmetic companies test on animals, they are one of the animals that they test on, because they actually don't. If they are in pain, they'll just deal with it. Like, they won't. And that isn't that fucked? Doesn't it? Yeah. Go cruelty free with your makeup if you can. Highly recommend. Because fuck that shit. That shit is fucked. Not a fan of that.
I'd rather talk about goop some more. I don't know.
Goop. But before the cat came in, when we were talking about sets and bringing people to sets.
Yeah.
If I were to do comedy, I would not want to bring anybody.
Yeah, I didn't tell anybody until like a week after. I think I told my brothers the night of, but they don't live here, so I just sent them.
Oh, you just did it without like informing anyone?
I just snuck out.
That's probably what I would do too, to be honest.
I think I told I told my parents I'm gonna go study or something, and then
I might bring one person.
Yeah,
that's usually that helps.
One person, as moral support, just to be there to sit with me.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I went there and I went to my first set was at Gus's pub.
That's would be a great place to do a first set, I feel like.
Yeah, and
sure.
the crowd was basically all comedians. It was like Vaughn was there, Martin was there,
the boys,
Ian Black was there. Like, it was just all comedians, and then like Chris Halef was there, and that was like his second set or something like that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I got to meet him like instantly.
Yeah.
And then so it was cool. I got like right away. I just met like 6 different comedians, and then like met Chris, like guys starting out too. So it was like, wow,
around the same time as you, and
yeah, I was like, wow, this is really cool. There's like actually a lot going on here. Like,
it's very encouraging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. People, I guess, like, it would just come up like naturally in conversation, and then they'd like kind of invite themselves. I wouldn't be like, no, like, don't come support me.
Yeah. Right. Oh yeah, no, that's fair.
It would definitely kind of like up the ante, be like, oh, okay, well, I gotta not look like a total jackass.
Yeah, once it started and people would be like, I was like, of course you can come. Like, yes.
I just feel like if you were to bring a shit ton of people, like, obviously you're kind of taking the easy way out a bit, because you know that they're gonna laugh because they love you.
Oh, that's why I did well in like a few of my sets when I just like started. That's just because like a bunch of people would come that I knew, and then I knew that I was like, I need to start like.
Yeah, it's more challenging to like try to connect with strangers, especially like if your comedy is personal or like really personal to you. Like, obviously your friends like have heard these stories, they've been there, but like strangers in the room, if you can make them laugh about something that was so personal to you,
that's true.
Like, you've done something.
Yeah, I don't think neither of us have like anything personal whatsoever. It's just about, it's all just like made up stuff.
That's life stuff.
I have one bit about like my pubic hair, and I think that's the most.
You have a bit about pubic hair? I don't think I've heard that one.
Well, I just say that people get surprised when I tell them I have ginger pubes, and then that's like the most like, I've delved into my real life, I think, in my set. Is that I do have pubic hair that is the same as my hair color.
Yeah, true.
That's so. What about your first? Do you remember your first like stand-up show?
Like actual.
Yeah.
I was at Barely's. And, yeah, it's still like one of my favorite mics. It was good, and it was like I was actually doing like like that was probably when I was more like taking from my real life, because I was just doing like classic observational stuff.
Yeah. Like where you start, like, because you don't know what else to even talk about.
Were you guys terrified?
I would like shake on stage a little bit. When I was like holding the mic, I'd be like,
I was kind of like I was pretty nervous. I don't know. Brandon Michael is actually at my first set, and he said I seemed pretty comfortable, so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think like it's good
that I made it look
it's in
like
your head. Like, you're picking apart everything you do, because like we are our own biggest critics. Like, it's not actually, and that's what Robbie Vino told me actually. He's like you will notice it, but like not as many people will notice it as you think.
Yeah, they don't know they don't know what you're like. They don't know you do that with your hand, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like, you're just like this. That's just what they see of you. So it's whatever you want them to see, basically.
You just gotta do it.
Yeah.
You just gotta bite that bullet and do it. Like, I don't know. Like, there's two schools of thought about like nerves and like stage fright. Like, I hear some people who are just like, nah, I don't get it. But then I hear other people who are like, you need to get nervous, like, to be doing it good. Like, you need to feel that slight
I've
Just to
had
be
some-
aware of the situation, I think helps. You don't like really, really like frighten yourself, but
Yeah.
Yeah, because the nervousness can make you not present, which is
That's true.
probably
That
the
would not be
worst thing,
good.
but it can also make you very present.
Exactly.
Right.
Which is done to me for sure. Like I've had sets where I'm just like in a hurry, like closing at work and then like running to like.
Well, that would be that. See, and that is something like going back to like me talking about like I get stressed out for you guys. That would throw me off.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel it even if I have a podcast that I'm like rushing to like set up for, or like like I get nervous because I need to be in the moment here and like not concerned about all these other things, and I can't imagine doing that.
Yeah.
Like this is my comfort level. Like there's no crowd. Like there's a theoretical crowd in the future.
This is a good way to get into like, because you're like, you have a skill in like being social and like getting guests to like interact with you,
conversational, and
so that would be good for that aspect of it.
big time. And
Sure.
if you would have asked, honestly, always been a lover of comedy, but if you would have asked me before Intoxicated became a comedy podcast, like strictly comedy, like I was not interested in stand-up at all. But through getting to know you guys, going to shows, learning about it, I'm like, maybe I'll do it someday.
Yeah.
And I'll not tell anyone. I'll just show up at an open mic sometime.
I think that's kind of how it
But
works.
now you
in
know,
the city.
you know just about every single comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like someone's gonna see you.
But it's also a weird thing where I am making a point not to ask for advice. Because, well, I mean, I guess it depends on the person.
My assumption
But I'm
is, like-
trying not to do the thing where I'm like, hey, can you look at this joke?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying not to do that. The advice is more so about, I guess, process and...
Yeah, I've always thought like you don't want to be the one who's constantly asking because you can kind of. It's obviously like it's an in the moment thing, but you kind of know when it's the time to ask advice when it's someone who will offer it to you. But for the most part, any advice I've gotten was just given to me by someone who just.
And that's the better way to, like, they come up and offer it.
Yeah.
You don't ask for it.
Yeah, because then you get people like, don't beat yourself up. Like, that's a good.
And I think that a lot of the advice is more about stuff like that, where it's an encouraging advice.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like your jokes better than anyone else.
Yeah, like
so it's tough for other people to
like what I
know
just
exactly
brought up
where you're
was
going
Jim
with that.
just got some like pretty unsolicited advice. I don't know if you want to tell it.
Oh, you can tell. This
you
is
can adjust details if you want to make it
change names for.
I did a set like and I like bulleted, which is like going first, and it was like it was I don't know, I maybe could have done better, but like I think I didn't like completely shit the bed.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. It's an open.
Yeah, it was like fine, and then I said to someone, "Hey, good job" after their set, and they're like, "Oh, don't beat yourself up," and I was like, I wasn't, but
yeah. As you said, I wasn't. He had started to just be like, "Yeah, the crowd wasn't that great." He just started to give advice.
Yeah, I was like, that's not what this.
It's like
really was.
Yeah,
but
kind of like a backhanded, like weirdly, like like the intentions are kind of there, but
I
like
could
not
get over it. It
not
was
right.
making me laugh the whole night because it was just so like. And then he walked away saying, I don't have to bail you out. It's like.
Yeah,
you didn't. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always that's the thing with advice too is when people give it to you, you're like, why are they giving me advice? Like,
and then you can get in your head, and it becomes probably a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, you can kind of tell when someone it's like if they're really experienced, and it's like you can almost tell if it's like wisdom they've earned.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like, oh, he figured that out. He didn't just. He's not just like trying to sound smart. Or trying to sound like he's been around town.
Right.
Like, oh, he figured that out. Like, that sounds like it was a painful or at least hard lesson for him to learn. And now he's reminding me. And it's like, even with a lesson like that, it's like, you'll probably still have to learn it yourself. But someone pointed it out at least. So it's like, oh, other people thought the same thing as I did.
Yeah.
Like.
That's interesting.
Yeah, someone said to me where he's just like, anytime you think you're like ready for something, it's about a year away.
Yeah.
And I was like,
so true.
He's definitely gone through something where he felt like he deserved something and then had to learn like, no, you just got to like, it's a way to mentally keep yourself patient, but actually also realize that you need to keep grinding, and you probably weren't ready for that.
Exactly.
You probably didn't deserve
and you can
it.
come back from that. Like if you like think you're ready for something and then it turns out you're not ready, just wait.
Yeah.
Patience.
Yeah. It'll
just put your head down and keep doing what you do.
Yeah, if you're really like dedicated to it, then like find the way that it's gonna like happen. And
and be confident in your jokes.
Yeah.
Just I don't know.
I think is also
spend
key.
all your energy just writing and performing.
How do you guys
just like do the thing? Like don't worry about all the excess stuff. Do the thing.
Just do the thing. What's your guys' like writing process? Are you people who like you might experience something in life and you just jot it down, or do you sit down to write specifically and just try to think of things, or are you more because I'm very much so someone who, like, when it happens to me, I will write it down. Like, I will pause conversations and go, let me write this down so I don't forget.
A lot of my stuff came from, like, just it appeared to me, basically. And then I'll force myself to sit down with it and try and, like, see
massage
where
it. Massage.
Yeah, see where I can take it. And then some things pop to me on stage and I record them or either remember them and then, like... So I think it's a mix of everything.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely important to consciously try and write, though.
Yeah, exactly.
There's people like they only write on stage or whatever, but it's like I think you should always.
Very few people in the population can pull that off.
You should probably just try. You should probably try all kinds of things.
It's good to have a backbone to like your structure and before you like
start
doing that kind of thing.
And it seems like it's good to write old things out. Because then you're not just reciting it, you're like looking at it from a different angle.
Yeah.
You're writing it out either slowly, like there's all those writing tips from like Gary Gulman or whatever. He's like giving a tip a day on Twitter.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
One of his is like write your old jokes out and like leave some space in between lines and force yourself to throw in think
new things to it to like spice them up.
Brainstorm different words, like think of a different image, like just riff on it. Like
I love it when that happens to you when you see it, like when you see a joke change slightly, like and you're like, oh, I remember where that joke started. Like it's really, really cool.
Yeah,
evolution of it.
I found some of mine in a notebook it was a full year before I started. And
oh wow!
Like, I wrote this joke a year ago. I just forgot about it.
Okay.
When you're like later on down the line, you can actually like make it way better than
it started as like this half thought, and now it's like, oh, that's a whole thing I've been doing for months now. Like,
do you guys feel? Because I have stuff written that I'm just like I want to release this to the world, whether that be in a Facebook status or whatever. But do you ever feel like you have a joke that you're like, oh, I should probably work on this more, but like it's so good, I just want to get it out there before someone else takes it.
Oh,
like that type of thing, like where it's like before someone else thinks of something similar, I need to get it out there.
Right. Yeah, I've had ones where like I've just had it, and luckily that night I have a set, so it's like
that's perfect.
Oh, I get to do this tonight. And then there, like just last Monday, I had one that I thought of a few hours before.
Yeah.
And I was doing 2 sets that night, so it was like I get to do it twice tonight. So it was like, it's like so like you're just so like
amped.
Yeah. And the more excited you are about a bit, sometimes the like more into it you will be when you're delivering it.
It'll come out better.
Like into it because you're into it. Like when I'm doing like a lot of old bits, sometimes I like forget that, and then I'll just like do it, and I'll be like, oh, I wasn't really like that into it as I should have been.
Because it's like it kind of reminds me of like musicians, like bands, like playing old hits that like everyone loves the old hits, but like they're just like, oh, I've been fucking doing this song every day for so many years. Fuck.
Yeah, it's like you just get sick of it, and I think that's from what I've heard comedians talk about how they write and riff. They just get bored and they're like, okay, I have to talk about that thing I thought of today. Guess what? Like I'm just gonna do it and. Throw caution to the wind and just this might suck. I'm just gonna stretch it as far as I can. So I've just been getting to a point where I do that within the bits I've already written.
Right.
And now soon it'll get to a point. Like sometimes I'll open with something I just thought of, something that happened earlier in the show or like in the room or like
something
that went on. And sometimes it works because people observed it too. Sometimes you're Sometimes you point out something that no one else saw, so they're just like, what are you talking
Well,
about?
I feel like an idiot sometimes when I talk to comedians because I know that with jokes, obviously, like there's some old jokes that like you might say my girlfriend, or you're referring to an ex,
Yeah.
or something, and you might not want to change. You might not want to change the wording of that joke to say my ex.
it's not-
But then I'll come up to them and be like, "Oh, where's your girlfriend?" Or like, and they're like, "Oh no, we broke up long ago." I'm like, "Fuck!" I always forget that it's
Not as relevant anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's not always going to be the same.
Yeah.
And I've made a point to stop doing that. To like
Yeah,
reference
it's,
people's jokes, like when interviewing them as people, like
a lot of it's like it
Yeah.
happened, it was sparked by something, but all those all the punchlines are like embellished,
and like
it just because when you listen to it, it's like all those things were just like ascribed to the person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like when comedians talk about like inanimate objects as if they're people. It's like, yeah, they're just they're adding in stuff. Like it's like the thing didn't say that. Like
people always forget about the embellishment part.
Yeah.
And like people who don't get comedy and humor, I feel don't realize that.
Yeah.
That like if someone tells a really self-deprecating joke, like my humor is super self-deprecating. So if I were to go on stage, it would be very self-deprecating.
Yeah.
And then people are just like, "Oh, really?" It's just like, "No, bitch, I embellished it. It's a joke.
Yeah.
It's not. It's not
you have to
Let
totally."
let me profit off this right now. Like at least like give me this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I know.
So interesting.
I just talk about a lot of like shit that's not really based from my reality, so
Yeah.
it's like I can get away with it a little bit more.
yeah,
Yeah,
a
you
lot
have like a different style than a lot of people. I feel.
Yeah, it's a lot
which is
of,
good.
Yeah,
It makes you
yeah.
stick
characters
out.
and, like
Yeah, it's just a lot of like me.
like ideas, kind of like following like a strange
Sequence
yeah, you
of
do a lot of
events.
characters. I find like
Yeah.
I get angry about things that I have no real passion about in real life. Like,
But it's the fact that you're getting so angry about it that makes it funny. I find.
yes, I just play like an angry young man on stage who's
Like an old man in a young man's body.
yeah.
That's what you have.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
I was shocked that you're only 21. That's. I didn't think you were much older than that, but
Yet
that's
I have
young
So much disdain for society.
already.
Yeah.
Oof! Look out! 10 years from now. Oof.
I'm gonna be like,
Have you guys ever watched the show Crashing on HBO?
no,
I've heard lots about it. but-
You should check it out. It is a fascinating. It's very much so like what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
Like the grind of like starting out in comedy and it's really good. I highly recommend. If you
Yeah.
have Crave, it's on Crave. Otherwise, it's HBO and you might have to like illegally find it. But I would
Yeah.
never endorse that.
Maybe
But
I'll
watch
just
the show.
watch it when I go to my parents' house
Yeah, do
for like
it.
an entire day, and then
Yeah,
that's how I get my HBO fix now. Is I just like
just book an entire day off to like
yeah.
watch 10 episodes or something.
But it's good because it's I think only 3 seasons. And because it's done.
Yeah, it ended recently,
They did
right?
cancel it,
Yeah.
but and there's so many cameos. Like Bill Burr was on a couple episodes.
Yeah.
John
Sarah
Mulaney.
Silverman.
Yeah.
John Mulaney.
Yeah.
Who else? Who's that guy who was the dickhead who did some sketchy stuff? He was in Deadpool.
like Artie
TJ
Lang,
Miller?
Who?
TJ Miller.
TJ Miller. Yeah.
What was the sketchy
He was
stuff they
in.
did?
He was. What was it? He cheated on his girlfriend, or I think he was like mildly Me Too'd.
Okay.
Yeah, it was one of those ones where it was like,
Forget
is this
the
like
exact
a grudge
situation.
or what's going on here? Like I remember it kind of was like one of the ones that people kind of examined more because they're like, this seems like there was a lot of personal like back and forth,
Right.
So it's not as I don't know if it was like, and also he's like he's a quite a volatile like crazy guy from what I know. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, he goes nuts apparently,
What's really cool about it though is like when they're on the show, they're just playing themselves.
Yeah.
which is cool. Yeah.
And like interacting with this new comic who's essentially crashing, like he's just coach crashing and doing mics. Like that's the premise of the show. It's fun.
So
It's really
is
good.
everyone playing themselves except like Pete?
Except Pete, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
actually,
He's playing himself, but like
like a
yeah.
farther back.
His
Farther
name
back
in the
in time.
his name in the show is Pete.
yeah.
But yeah, like I guess an earlier version of himself. Yeah.
And
Which
then
is
everyone else is where they're at, like right now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I did see the clip where like Bill Burr teaches him how to golf. Or
Yes!
whatever, and he's just like,
Yeah, and Artie Lang plays a big part in the show. He's like he's like a main character in it.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it's a really good show. You guys should watch it.
Yeah.
Are you guys big TV people? Do you watch a lot of TV? In the Game of Thrones?
Not really.
Yeah,
I just love talking about Game of
it.
Thrones right now because it's so relevant.
I hear the Starbucks cup was quite an issue.
Yeah. So that cup, that was ridiculous.
A cup.
I mean, I think it's funny. I think it's more funny than like.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I've heard
It really isn't.
I've heard a lot of people complaining that the writers have just sort of like dropped the ball and like I don't know what to reference. I don't know what to base.
People ask them to like remake.
There was petitions to get them to remake the last season.
And then I
It's
heard
like, are you actually gonna watch that like again? Like I don't know.
Yeah, and then I heard they gave those guys control of like the next Star Wars after the like Rise of Skywalker. It's like, first of all, why are you making more Star Wars? Stop.
Stop while you're ahead.
Over it, man.
Kids like Marvel. That's what they grew up with.
Yes.
Like, Marvel started in 2008 with Iron Man. Like that was 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Like it's a whole shift. Like Star Wars started in like the 80s. Like my thing, I actually like the prequel Star Wars because I was a kid when they came out, so it was just
Episode 1?
Yeah, it was just cool to me. Like it was just like, that came out like 1999. I was 3 when that came out.
Right, yeah.
So it was like a spectacle, man. There was like so much going on.
Clone Wars, which is like kind of bad. It's like it was good to me because I was a kid and it was just like lightsabers, like I don't know.
Even when I was like 12, people would be like, "Oh, Clone Wars is the worst one." I'd be like, "Well, I'm not really like thinking about that."
And also, it's like let's just let everybody like what they like.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in this culture right now, just like we're just hypercritical of everything.
Yeah, like I can't be with this person because they're like they're into this stuff, and it's like it's a TV show. Like,
like, Star Wars just seems like it's trying to like map itself onto people now rather than just be its own thing. And it's like you're just trying to please everybody. Like
it was pretty hype when they like just brought it back, and then now
and it's like they just made the same movie as they did before. And then they just like went nuts with I don't even know. It was just like
I'm so out of the loop with Star Wars. I think there was a time that I was more in it, but I'm just out of the loop at this point.
Yeah, I like Lord of the Rings more as a kid anyway.
I loved Lord of the Rings.
That was my thing. I saw those movies like so many times to the point where it was ridiculous. And I think it's a better story overall. I think it's a deeper story, so I think that's why people like it can like stand up to things better, like to time, because it's sort of like more timeless. But Star Wars was more like a big spectacle at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
It's still good. I really like Star Wars, but it's like what they're doing now is just kind of like you're just trying to like cash it all
in.
With like Avatar, they're like we've planned the next 5 Avatar movies.
Wait, so they're actually doing that? They're actually like
through to 2029.
How long have these movies been in the works? Like,
because it came out so long ago, and then they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna make like a whole bunch of shit," and it's been like 10 years, and now they're like, "Here it comes! The blue people are back."
It's gonna be 2074. We're gonna have Avatar 13. It's like,
is James Cameron alive still?
Yeah, no one asked for it.
He is apparently.
Nice.
I
went down to Mariana's Trench.
That's true. Yeah. I thought you meant the band for a second.
He just went.
They hang out.
They friends.
Yeah.
I made a big mistake the other day. Because you guys don't watch Game of Thrones.
No.
I read. I guess there was leaks. People leaked what the finale would be.
Oh no.
And I guess the leaks, I don't even know, like when I say the leaks, it's very vague, had been correct in previous episodes this season and what they were saying. So I read what they were saying for the finale, and there's a good chance it could be correct. And I'm like, oh God. And I was like, I have memes ready to go if it is correct, like based on what I read. And I'm so excited to hopefully be right and just hit tweet as soon as that finale is over, because I have the perfect fucking meme.
Like a meme that like you made?
Yeah. Based on the spoilers for the finale, that if the leaks are correct.
Yeah, I've heard of there's a whole subreddit that call themselves Free Folk, which I'm assuming is a reference to something in the show, and they're all people who read the leaks And
interesting. Okay, I'm going right there tonight.
And
I'm going there.
And they just stopped. They call themselves free folk because I guess they're like, oh, we can just openly
talk about this,
riff a bit, like just make.
But it might not be true. Is the thing. Like that's the thing. Like there's spoilers, but they might not be at all what it is. But I will say, if I'm watching that finale and if I'm just checking things off, I'm getting ready to post the meme that I'm posting.
Yeah.
Because it's a good one. I'll tell you off mic if you don't care, but it depends on, like, do you ever plan on watching Game of Thrones or?
Yeah, I don't really care. I think I already know. I've heard so many bits and pieces that it's just like at this point I'm like I don't even remember who's who anyway. So like,
yeah. I tried to watch the first few episodes, but it was just like there's so many factors.
Yeah, well, I remember I read the first 100 pages of the book, and I was like, after 100 pages, I was like, I couldn't tell you a single thing.
I mean, it's just so much,
and I know,
right?
And I know that's because it's like each chapter's like in the books. Have you read the books?
No.
They're just the chapter titles aren't titled with numbers or names. They just say the name of the character whose perspective it is. So for the first 100 pages of the first book, it's a different character. Like 13 chapters in a row.
Speaking in first
so by the
person?
end of it, you're just like, and like you're going back and like, and it's going like
that would be weird.
It's all third person, but it's changing areas of wherever like Westeros is that?
Westeros. Yeah.
So it's changing areas. So it's like any book that's gonna make me flip to this map every page. It's like no. I just let me read the book. So I'm like, okay, now they're in the north now, so they're far away from them, and then I'd like forget. And by the time I'd like go back to the map, I wouldn't remember where. It's just like
it's insane. And but I also think that that's why fans are so critical, because fans of the show have dealt with like 1,000 characters for 7 or 8 years, and it's like, and now it's like feeling very rushed.
I feel like it's a very active watch. Like you need to be keeping track, and like you can't really turn your brain off. Like
the good thing, one thing I will say, like if you do ever plan on watching Game of Thrones, I would highly recommend like recap videos on YouTube or things like that, because they can really help you like just summarize the episodes in like a bare basics way. It's funny. My neighbors down the hall, we watch Big Brother. We're Big Brother fans, and we put each cast, we put their pictures on a wall, like with their names. And I'm like, you can almost do that with Game of Thrones. Like just make a printout on your wall of like all these characters and how they're connected. Like, oh, okay, it's this family and like they're connected here. Like you can almost need a flow chart to like understand Game of Thrones. It's a lot
like you're
of
a conspiracy theorist and you just got like newspapers on your wall and you're connecting like everything.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And then you're like Charlie from It's Always Sunny.
You
guys need to watch It's Always Sunny.
It's like the episode where he's in the mailroom and he's just like, who is this person? It's like just
God, I love that show. I need to go back and rewatch old seasons of It's Always Sunny. It's like my favorite.
Man, you should email him, get him on.
Oh, speaking of getting people on, I'm going to be trying to get Eliza Schlesinger.
Oh yeah, she's here.
No she's here. She's coming this weekend. I'm going to send out a tweet, and I am going to be requesting all my comic friends to retweet it.
That's cool. I don't have a Twitter account, but I'll
support
find
me.
A way.
You'll support me emotionally.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna send a Hail Mary tweet. Just be like, hey, if you want to come by and do my podcast, feel free.
Yeah.
And like just see what happens.
Yeah, she might be like, what the hell do I do in this city? And then invite like, why not? Like I have no idea.
And
what's
who
going
knows?
on here.
Yeah, like I don't know how much time she has. I don't know when she's like gonna physically get here. But like I'm gonna send the tweet. I think she'll be here on Thursday or Friday, the 23rd. It's like, what day is that? Okay, Thursday.
Yeah.
So I think if I send out the tweet tomorrow.
Yeah, could work.
Or maybe I should send it as soon as possible. I don't know. I don't know how like with celebs, like I don't know if she.
I feel like it's opportune timing because like if you send it now and then she doesn't see it and she forgets about it, you can't like tweet at her again because the more you do it, like
it is true. It might.
It's
be
all
like,
timing.
It might be like a spur of the moment, like
maybe a couple days before.
And she'll be like, "Yeah, man, I'm not doing anything."
Yeah, because I feel like
oh
people
my god, I would die.
People come here, they often are like, what is this place?
What do I do?
I remember seeing.
And it could help, and I kind of want to do it. I want to make sure to mention in the tweet to promote your tour.
Yeah.
Like I'm adding those 3 words.
Those aspects
to let her know that it's kind of media, sort of.
Well, it is, yeah.
Better than a radio show, I guess, like because you just hang out. You don't have to be like.
And I would buy her
Yeah.
any booze she wants.
Dealing with some guy who calls himself by a name that isn't his name, like
Yeah.
radio DJs.
I mean, my biggest fear is just trying to pronounce her last name, which I can't. Schlesinger. Schlesinger? Oh, I think I might have got it.
Probably it.
I don't watch her enough
Slez-
to know her name.
I'd have to like. I think if that did happen, like I would invite some comics to come hang out for that episode.
For sure. Have a Eliza party.
Yeah.
Maybe that, I don't know if, but if she like gets here, it's like a whole surprise, and we're all like,
Just 14.
hey.
Oh yeah, I think it would be like I think I would pick like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So where do you get your ideas?
What do you like, help me?
It's just terrible.
Make me famous.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, because I'm always just thinking, I'm like, well, maybe she needs an opener or something, and like I don't know.
Where's she performing?
The Spats Theater,
Oh.
which is very random.
There's
and
a lot of comedy acts go through there. Usually during the Halifax Comedy Fest, there's one big act. Like Tom Papa was there this last one.
Okay.
I saw Kevin Smith there a while back.
And Norm Macdonald has performed there.
Ooh.
Like,
So it actually probably maybe is. I guess I always just think. I mean, we kind of lack venues in Halifax for that
it's like
size.
you can either go to a basketball stadium or like
the Rebecca Cohen, which is
or-
actually fairly small.
Yeah, it is like. I
It
remember-
looks big because it's the biggest on campus, but it's not actually like that.
No, yeah, like I saw Bill Burr there, but that was 2014. That was like just before he
Kind of took off.
Yeah, that was like he was popular, but like that was when he like
It wasn't there yet.
Have you guys
exploded,
met
like-
any big time comedians or celebrities?
No, I met him after the show. But
Oh, did ya?
Yeah, he
Was super brief, probably. Or?
Yeah, it was pretty. He was cool. Like he talked to us for like a second.
Oh, that's neat.
Like made fun of us for like trying to get our ticket stubs signed because he was trying to sell his DVDs and get rid of them because he's like, these have been in my garage. No one buys DVDs, and we're like, can you sign our ticket stubs? He's like, now everybody. And we were like the first guys in line. He's like, now every fucking idiot's gonna do this. Like, so yeah.
See, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was exactly
Jokes.
what I thought he would be like. You know, he's just.
You'd
like,
want to get made fun of if you met
you know,
him.
He's like, yeah, he's breaking
Yeah.
balls, and it's like, oh, it's Bill Burr. Like that's what he's like.
It's
He's
the
gonna-
package.
He's gonna
Yeah.
make fun of you, and he's gonna be there, like uncomfortable but like nice. He's kind of just there, like, hey, yeah, like,
Aw.
yeah. It was exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I always get nervous meeting like more famous people because I'm just like,
Yeah.
can you get like if Eliza comes on, I'm just like, you're gonna walk into a shoebox of a piece of shit apartment, this like makeshift studio that I have. Like this is not what you're used to. You are
Contact lenses everywhere.
contact lenses everywhere. There's fucking It's
Maybe she
I would
ran
have
out
to
of
get
contact lenses.
I
She's
would
like,
have
Thank
to-
God I came to.
I would
the
probably
theater."
pay professional cleaners to come in and like just like spruce this place up a bit.
Yeah, fair
if
enough.
she came.
Yeah, no
But
doubt.
but then I always wonder. I'm like, can you get down with that? Like, are you a humble person? That's the main.
Well, if she's coming in
Real.
off of like just a tweet, like how she can't really.
That's
have
true.
Giant expectations.
But it's surprising to me sometimes with tweets. Like sometimes you send them out and like it's just nothing.
Yeah.
And then other
sometimes it
times
catches fire, yeah.
Other times it catches fire, and that's why I think when I do it, I'm gonna ask people to retweet because if everyone retweets it within 24 hours.
Yeah,
It'll gain
she might see
traction.
the same thing pop up a few times in the feed.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, add the hashtags of the tour.
See the word promote kind of thing.
Promote?
Just like, yeah.
if she's like, "What's in Halifax?" Like she'll look that up. And
yeah.
What's this city all about? Like we could talk about Halifax.
Yeah, like
yeah.
We could talk about the comedy scene in
experiences.
Halifax.
we'll go on the
Yeah.
harbor hopper with her. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, I was
Oh.
gonna say that's probably what she's doing instead
I'm-
of like this. So might as well come here, right?
I'm such a believer. Like, and I don't know. I think the secret's kind of bullshit, but I do believe in visualizing.
Yeah, don't you have a copy? Like it's like right
I
there.
do.
Yeah.
It is bullshit though.
You have a what?
Copy
There-
of The Secret.
I think
it's behind that monitor. I think.
Yeah, it is.
What is that?
It's just like the idea of like visualizing your dreams and just like if you want a certain amount, like say you want to make $50,000 in a year, like you write yourself a check for $50,000 and you put it on your ceiling and you look at it. You're
Yeah,
constantly.
I mean,
Yeah.
But I just don't like there's aspects of that I do agree with, but for the most part I'm like you can't just like think away your life.
Yeah. There's like
It's not.
It goes
your
back to like what
thoughts-
you were saying. Like you can like say like
Yeah.
you're gonna do this, but like you also have to like physically invest in it. And
yeah,
like,
you
do
can
the
be a
work.
moron about it and just be like, I'm putting my vibes out. It's like, yeah, but you're
Yeah.
also doing this and
Doing
this and
nothing.
this and this and that. You're like you're still it's like you're spending your money wrong, or you're living in a bad place, you're hanging around bad people.
Oh, but my energy is insane. And that's why when people tell me, when we talk about like being single and how you just have to not want it and it will come to you, and I'm just like, no, that's bullshit. There's tons of people who don't want it and it doesn't come to them. Like if you want to meet someone, you do need to, you can't just stay in your apartment and not want it.
I think the idea of not wanting it is stop obsessing about it and go live your life, and then you're doing the things you want to do, and you're probably more likely to
draw people
to get
to
it
you.
From doing like the things that naturally like is working.
And that I believe in.
You'll run 100% who's on a similar path to you with similar goals, and then
you'll be more open to. You'll be more open to meeting people. Are you guys single? Taken?
I'm taken.
We're both taken.
And I
We're both taken.
Yeah, I met. We're
like a Liam Neeson movie.
So,
Did you say we're with each other?
Yeah, we met each other, and then.
That's actually. I'm gonna ask you this one more question, then we'll talk about your show coming up. But how did you guys meet? What was the friendship origin?
I think we both
history.
Did Bailey's once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I even talked to you that time. I remember.
I think it was like, hey, good set, man. And then
yeah, I remember seeing your name and asking Catherine like who you were, and she's like, he fucking sucks. And I was like, probably not Catherine. Like, no. She didn't say that.
I got nervous first, but I'm like, we spilling tea on this.
I was like, you know what?
She didn't say that. She's like, he's from Toronto and like he performs when he's in town for school. I was like, oh, cool. Like a guy who goes to Dal, this will be cool. And then I didn't remember the time at first.
We were doing that show at Hell's Basement, and I needed a way to get there.
That was it, yeah.
Brian Otto.
Hell's Basement. I've never been, but I hear it's great.
Yeah, so
it's a very fun time.
And my girlfriend's also a comedian, so she was doing.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, bitchin'.
Yeah. So we were all doing the thing together. So I was like, well, you'll come with us, and then be great. So
yeah. It was a good time.
Was there any bond, like, because I mean, you meet people all the time in comedy, but was there like a bonding moment that made you two like pals, like outside of like, do you guys hang out outside of comedy?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Was there like something that bonded you?
Both young, we're both chilling.
Yeah.
Similar stages.
Yeah, I think it's like we relate more than like other, like we both go to Dow, we're similar age group, and we like, we did the show at Dalhousie's, like the tea room, which is the
I think there should be more comedy at Dalhousie. We'll talk after this.
Well, that's kind of like what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Bitchin'.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, we have like similar like things that we're trying to do with our comedy for sure.
Yeah, we're at like a very similar stage, and like we're definitely like before. It doesn't seem like there's that. We're the only two students other than like Jack.
Like,
yeah.
So Jack Power?
Yeah.
Jack Power.
I think I might have been in the audience for his first set.
Yeah.
Where was it?
Gus's?
Yeah, I was there for sure. It was when the guy in the wheelchair was.
Yes, I was. That was an iconic night.
That was great.
I think about that night all the time for several reasons.
Kate Bretner.
And like he like started wheeling out, and Kirsten was like, "We're just gonna keep this thing rolling," and like she just said the right thing at the right time. Like
out of context, it just sounds like we're making fun of a guy in a wheelchair, but like he actually was like being a dick. That is just the way we're describing him.
He was really hammered, and like Jack brought up Sir John A. MacDonald, and the guy was like,
"I know him," or something like.
I know him.
Probably not.
I will never forget that heckler.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was one of the better ones I've seen in general. Like rarely hecklers are like, usually it's mostly just people just talking to you like they think it's a conversation. So
what's your deal with heckler style?
I haven't really had people.
Yeah.
I've had mostly the maritime type hecklers where they just kind of repeat your punchline because they liked it.
Oh.
So you just sort of have to like. Maybe
it's a lot of helpful hecklers, and I'm not really gonna like fucking like shit on them because it's like, oh, okay, I'm not like whatever. I'll just move past it.
Tease them a bit if they're like that, and I haven't had anyone be like, you suck, like nothing like that yet. So
man, when I like first started doing open mics, I'd like go to a few where like people would like aggressively like chirp the comics. I'd be like, whoa, buddy.
Yeah,
and it's way less, I think, like that now. For some reason, which is nice.
See, I would and I would freeze if I was on stage and someone did something like that. Well, maybe I'm just saying that. Like, you never know. Maybe in the moment I would just be like, "Fuck you." Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But then you don't want to get you don't want to let it phase you.
You don't want to blow
is the thing.
on them.
Yeah.
That never looks good when people are like, "Look, he owned him." It's like, he just looked like he lost his cool. Like, I don't know.
Right.
It's like you just look like you. almost like insecure, or just like you just don't deal with pressure. So it's like you want to have that like.
You can't get too emotionally invested.
Yeah,
in
you
it.
want to dismantle it. I think. I don't know.
I feel like I can be a referee sometimes, and with comedy crowds, because if people start talking, I just go and I just stare at them.
Yeah, that's
like
great.
a teacher.
Yeah.
I'm just like, maybe if they see me staring, they'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But it's also really awkward when I bring friends to shows and like they're on their phones or like they start talking. I'm just like, you guys should know better. I've told you, don't do this.
Like one of
don't
my
do
biggest
this.
problems with bringing
friends,
people.
right?
And like it's nice. They like want to support you and they have good intentions, but they just don't know.
Do you get people asking you like, when's the show start? And you're like, this time. And they're like, when are you?
When
on?
are you on? I want to go on for your set. And it's like, okay, do you like everyone
when are
else?
you
You're
on?
disrespecting
8:43. Like I don't know.
Because you don't know, like, do you, like with open mics, do you know beforehand where you are in the lineup?
No, unless you're
No,
like,
yeah.
can I bullet tonight?
Yeah, like if I
Other than
have
that,
to
no.
do something.
If there's another spot or something.
Yeah, it's just like, show starts at this time. Show up before then. And then sit down and watch. And that's what you do.
Yeah.
And I'll come sit with you, but don't turn around and be like, oh, that guy after you suck. I know that guy.
Yeah,
so stop
man,
doing that.
like we're all in the same position trying to make good
or
jokes.
Even if I agree with you, I'm not going to be like,
It's not time for commentary.
Fuck this guy. It's just like,
commentary can happen after the show.
yeah, it's like
not during.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like I don't mind they turn around and say something, but it's like, it's like they don't get it, and it's fine. But it's like,
I'm like maybe if you have if you have to say something to somebody during a comedy show, whisper it very briefly, or like I don't know, send a discreet text message. I don't know.
It's like they don't realize when they ask when are you up. It's almost like they're saying, "What's the least amount of time I can commit to watching you?"
Which is bonkers because most comedy shows is like an hour or like maybe an
it's
hour and a
really,
half.
like,
it's not that long.
It's like, I want to watch
maybe
you, but
make it
like
to an hour
I
and a
only
half.
want to watch exactly when you start and exactly when you end. Like, and I know that's not what they mean, but it's like.
That is what they want. Like they're just like,
it's-
oh, my friend does comedy. I want to see that.
Yeah.
They don't want to see other people's friends.
It's like no, that's not part of it. Like you need to see the whole show.
Yeah. And I don't mean to make it like a homework assignment for people, but it's just like it is.
Your
polite.
attendance is
Yeah.
required. It's mandatory.
Here's the rule. Yeah.
You need to do a report on each person and to talk about what you liked.
We're gonna have a reading quiz about.
Share a Google Drive. Get a feedback form.
Yo, speaking of classes, by the way, I'm a tour guide at Dal,
Yes, Dalhousie.
and I talk about your wizard class when I stop at King's all the time.
Yeah.
Wizard. Wait, what?
So I took a class. I've taken 3 classes there's a minor at Dal called Esoteric and Occult Studies. So I've taken 3 classes from that minor.
Ooh.
One called Magic, Science, and Hermeticism. The other one was called History of European Alchemy, and the other one was called Oracles, Omens, and Astrology.
There's so many cool classes at Dalhousie.
Yeah.
Isn't there like a pop music class too, or something like that?
Probably, yeah.
There's a class for everything. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
There's like a pirate one at King's too.
Yeah,
like
King's has a pirate class, a vampire class, a witch class.
I'm into it.
A class on like the apocalypse, like the history of that idea.
Oh, like what's history of the future? Is that a Dal or is that a King?
That's probably a King's class, and I would guess it's in history of science and technology. Something
Yeah.
like that. That class has classes. That degree has classes on like AI and like
Interesting.
things like that. So
Fuck, I want to go. It makes me want to go back to school.
yeah.
I think employees of Dal can get cheaper. They can take courses for cheap.
You could do it
I should,
part time.
I should look into that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'd take though. Did you say astrology or astronomy?
Astrology.
Oh, did you take an astrology? Are you into it?
Yeah, because we talked about the historical context of it, like how it started in like Mesopotamia, basically. Like,
Interesting.
and how we actually astronomy was kind of born out of it because people saw the stars as having effects, so they had to figure out we need ways to track these because they figured out they move on predictable patterns, so let's figure out ways, and they figured out how to mathematically calculate with just like you see the picture of the guy with, I forget the tool it's called, where he's holding it up to his eye, and it's like you're figuring out degrees. That's how you figure out how many degrees above the horizon.
Oh,
the
right.
get your rising sign. So we looked at examples of, they call it natal astrology, where they look at someone's horoscope after they died. And then they basically fill in they take their life and they're like, well, that happened because look at how he was born. And so it's kind of like a storytelling.
I'm so into it.
Yeah.
But I'm also very resentful of my chart because I don't feel it represents me.
It's like,
Yeah.
Okay. In all fairness, like I'm a Pisces, and I'm very much so a Pisces. I always thought I had more fire signs in my chart.
What are the characteristics of a Pisces?
Oh, just like we're just very sensitive, emotional. Actually, and a lot of Pisces are very quiet and introverted, and I'm not, but I am very emotional, and like deep.
Yeah.
They like deep conversations.
Yeah, water signs.
Like they really like to connect with people.
Yeah, I'm
very sensitive.
I'm a Cancer, so I have the similar things.
Similar water sign, yeah.
Yeah, and people have said like someone did my thing, and it was like, you know, you have something in Gemini, so you're gonna express that trait more, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've had a natal chart. Like my girlfriend's from Nepal, so she took my info and gave it to her mom to take to like a priest there to do the Nepalese version of it. So I had her read the interpretation for me once, but I can't remember all of it because it's written in Nepalese. So it's just like
I'd like to sit down with an astrologer sometime.
But yeah, it's crazy. They give you the chart with like your things in all the houses and like and it's interpreted different ways because over there they interpret it's all based on the moon and it's like a little different. So, but it's really cool, like all those.
100%.
It's a really cool way.
It's interesting.
To, like, yeah,
I don't think you should take it to her.
Yeah, I know people
like
who read
or
tarot
take it with a grain of
cards, too,
salt, but
like, it's like none of it's literal. It's more just like it's really hard to explain because it doesn't fit with the way we think now.
Yes,
people used to think that way, and then we kind of had enlightenment, which made people think
differently,
rationally first before thinking kind of emotionally and like realizing that there's things controlling you that you're not aware of.
Right.
So, because now we kind of, those classes, the prof made the point of thinking like, we kind of think we've always thought rationally, but we've only done it for a few hundred years.
Right.
Before people used to think pretty much only religiously.
Uh-huh.
We just didn't have the difference between religion and science. We didn't have that like
fine line.
It was just kind of like, this is the way we see the world. Like the gods communicate through the world. They give us signs through the way birds fly. Like we talk about how they would watch bird omens, like the way birds fly.
I love this shit. Yeah. This is fascinating.
Yeah, like they examine bird flight and like they use I could do like a whole extra like episode on this.
My god, yes!
I'll bring my notes.
Yes, let's educate the people.
Yo, can you bring the professor of the course?
We could put him in front of a green screen and make him a YouTube channel.
Didn't you invite him to a show once?
Yeah.
Did you really?
He was going to bring his wife to, I did open stage at the Carlton, and he was going to come, but his wife got, like, the flu. But he said, like, let me know about...
It's a classic excuse. My wife got the flu.
Yeah, exactly. But he said, like, let me know about other shows, so I could honestly...
Is it weird when, like, people from either, like, your professional life or your educational life, like, see your comedy?
Not really. Like, I've had one show at Burley's. My mom and dad and my grandparents and an aunt and uncle and another aunt and a cousin and somebody else, like they all came to one show. So I just dealt with it all at once. And it
was that nerve-wracking?
A little bit, but it was actually just kind of funny because I was looking at them all like, and like one of my aunts had like a neck brace on and my grandfather had a cane. It just looked ridiculous. It was just like, what?
You can make a joke out of it almost, like,
it was just
like here's my family. They're about to find out how I fuck.
Yeah,
like
I think I did talk about how it was on my birthday or something, and they kind of like, I knew my cousin was coming, but I didn't. She kind of rallied all these extra people.
Oh, that's nice.
So I made a joke. It was like they planned a surprise party and hired like me as the entertainment. And it's like, there you go.
That's accurate.
Surprise,
I like that.
Like you're gonna perform for everybody today. So
wow,
it was kind of fun though.
Astrology.
I love Sam's how I fuck material.
Yeah, that's my best material.
He just gets up there and he just doesn't even say anything. He's like, "Let me tell you how I fuck."
And then I just acted it out for 15 minutes.
I guess the light so many times.
That was something that for a while, me hopping around to comedy shows, I was determined to always find out where the light was at each one.
Oh yeah, I mean it's literally just someone just with their phone, and then you're like,
and then but like it's this whole thing where like they have to do it when they're looking at you.
Yeah, it's funny.
Or when you're looking at them.
Sometimes it's like they'll just keep doing it, and you think they saw you acknowledge it, but they'll keep giving you the light, and you're like, I have to like nod.
Like, yeah, that I've learned to just like kind of make it ridiculously big the first time, and then go in just so I don't have to.
But
do
I've
it
also
again.
like missed the light before, so it's like it makes sense.
When you miss the light, do you just kind of like in your head go, oh, I think it's been because is the light? Does that mean 1 minute left?
It can mean all kinds.
Or
of
wrap it
things.
up.
Yeah, it kind of means like sometimes it'll be like 2 minutes left. You can be like, can you light me when I have 3 minutes? Like you can ask.
Oh, okay.
So it usually just means finish your thought. But sometimes
Wrap
you'll
her
get a
up.
light and they'll be going like 2 minutes. You're like, what does that mean? And like 2 minutes left. But
that stresses me out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No one's that strict about. They're not gonna like blacklist you for
or like
going
kick you off the
over.
stage.
No, like it happens. You get over it.
Yeah.
Like
What's your star sign?
I think Aquarius.
Oh, okay, interesting. January?
Yeah.
Okay.
January 31st. Is that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
That's still in there. Okay. Someone told me like what the characteristics were once. And I remember thinking it was accurate, but I forget what.
I think Aquariuses are just weirdos.
Oh hell yeah!
But like in a good way. Yeah. I like weirdos.
I forgot about the bell.
Oh my god, we gotta ding the bell more.
It was just make up for it.
How very quickly? How did you guys meet your women? Online or in person?
We were friends in residence in first year.
Oh, okay.
And then we were kind of friends in like first and second year, and like we hooked up a little bit last year, but it was like more casual. And then this year, I was like, yeah. Cool.
Be my GF.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice story.
Yeah,
that's very simple, straightforward.
I'm glad I did it because it's working out.
Yeah. I met mine at Gus's pub.
Did you really?
Yeah, she came in to do that mic, and then that was the first time we met. And then that Wednesday, she was also doing Barely's, and I was like, saw her again, and then she did High Life. Saw her again, and then I knew she was going back to New Brunswick the next day, so on the Friday morning, I opened my phone to send a message to be like, because I wanted to see her outside of these mics to like grab breakfast or something, and she had already sent a message asking to go do what I was going to ask.
And does she live here in Halifax? Or
yeah, she just moved here. So.
Oh, she just moved here. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Good for you guys.
Yeah, it worked out great.
That's awesome.
And it was literally that thing. As soon as I wasn't really thinking about, I wasn't using a dating app or anything. I was just like, I'm going to be doing open mics and see how that goes. And then I met her. So it was like.
That's what they all say.
Yeah.
That's what all the happy people say.
Did she see your how I fuck routine? Like, oh, look at this guy's moves.
Yeah, I told her about all the goop I have.
How do you deal with goop?
Check out my Gwyneth Paltrow collection.
Yeah.
Well, you have a show coming up, so let's find out all about this.
Yeah.
So you said it was on the 26th? So that's next Sunday?
Yes. Yeah,
Sweet.
Yeah.
So when this episode drops, they'll have 3 days to get to find out about it.
Oh yeah, nice. It's good enough. Yeah.
Which I mean, that actually works because I feel like a lot of people don't plan ahead too much when it comes to weekends.
It's at Gus's pub. It's February. Yeah, it's February.
We're really getting on the planning.
We're really. It's very important. Whatever month it is, May 26th. I don't know what time it is.
It's at 8:30. It's a $4 admission.
Yeah, it's not even $5. Like
$4. Okay.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I made fun of our poster for it, and I was like, "Well, if you just refer to the admission price, that should answer why the poster."
You'll have to send me the poster so I can post it with the episode.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
It looks cool. I got my friend who's a graphic designer to do it.
Yeah, it's a good poster for like just a summer show, like just quick show in the.
It's like luxury word art.
Yeah.
Is there a name to the show, or is it just?
It's called Summer School.
Summer School.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of like alternative comedy show names.
And do we know who's on the show?
Yes, we do. We got Lindsay Barron, Jack Power, Emma Mader. Is it Mader? Is it Mader?
I think it's Mader.
I think it's Mader.
Mader. Okay, nice. Then we got Brandon Michael. We got this guy, and then we got Chanel Fryer.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's gonna be quite a time.
Oh, that's a packed lineup.
Yeah, we're just gonna fuck around and then maybe do some trivia questions in between, just to kind of get the crowd engaged.
And do you think you'll do more if it goes good?
Yeah, for sure.
Plan?
Yeah. I think I have it like booked one more time at Gus's, so that'll be tight if we do another one.
That's amazing. And like, let me tell you, having that taco place there really helps.
Yeah. Yes,
bringing
100%.
the people in, getting tacos.
Yeah, I'm gonna be wearing this.
It's lovely.
Full jumpsuit.
It is very fashionable.
Yeah.
I love that just certain parts of you are transparent. You look like you're.
Yeah, the hat keeps going everywhere, which is kind of cool.
Well, Sonny Dollywall came in here and he was just totally transparent.
Yeah, was he wearing a green hoodie? Or
he was. And it's funny because like he was supposed to do the podcast the day before and I had told him don't wear green And he's like, yeah, sure. And then I just forgot to remind him the next day because we rescheduled. And I was like, fuck, I should have sent the reminder. I feel like I need to like copy and paste like a generic message that I just send to everybody.
True.
Don't wear green. Tell me what you want to drink.
With the background.
Get home safe. Don't give any fucks because that's not the podcast for it.
Yeah.
But big thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
This was lovely, and you guys will have to come by for a comedy live stream sometime because those are those are shit shows.
I heard those are fun. Yeah,
they're a lot of fun. I just packed this room with mics. Usually it's 3 mics up here, and I have mics on the couches as well.
Okay.
And I have another camera set up.
Sweet.
Just point at the living room, and we just have a fucking party, and we talk and we drink. And like usually the chat is pretty lit too. Like you get comedians in the chat and comedians on the stream. Like
cool.
Andy Bush is a regular in the chat, so he's always in there chatting to us. It's a lot of fun.
That's dope.
So you guys got to come. Well, the next one's going to be June 1st.
June 1st.
If you are not, it's a Saturday.
Cool.
And they go late, so that's what I tell people. Like even if you have shows.
Yeah.
Or something that night, like a lot of people, like Daniel Allen will come by after Yuck Yucks. Like it's no big deal because usually I start at 10. I could even push it to 10:30 maybe, and they usually go well into the like 2 a.m. spectrum. So anytime.
That's dope. I would do that.
Anytime you want to come.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
It's a shit show always.
Yeah.
But thanks so much, you guys.
Yeah, this is great.
And where can people follow you on social media?
I have a Facebook page called Jim Temple Comedy.
Perfect.
It's pretty cool.
Give that a like.
I didn't want to I don't know. People post on their like personal accounts.
Yeah.
And, like that's good, but like I felt like if I posted
it's good to have some
every single,
separation.
Like,
Yeah. I don't have one. You can follow me like on Instagram if you want.
Yes.
You can search my name, Sam Bartol. My account name is the Sam Bartol, which
perfect.
I did way before I was ever a comedian. I just did because I was like I did that when I was like grade 10.
Oh, really?
And now I feel like a jerk because it's like, who's this guy? He's a year in and he's the Sam Bartol. But
official Sam Bartol.
Yeah.
No other Sam matters.
Yeah, get verified.
I actually tried to take the out and I couldn't do it. Like,
oh, really?
It says Sam Bartol's like
already taken,
but I can't find it. So maybe they're like a suspended.
I would just keep checking it because you never know.
The original Sam Bartol is very controversial.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very upset with you that he took his name.
Yeah, I don't know.
Follow these guys. Come to a show anytime they're doing. There's shows all the time in Halifax. So come check these guys out and check out their show at Gus's on Sunday the 26th.
We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be weird.
And fuck yes, you guys do the honors and tag team that bell. Ring the bell. Yeah, tag team the bell.